Let's get nasty on a Monday. It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN with Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, and Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. 2:02. Your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. How's everybody's weekend? Jamie, you doing a little traveling?
Yeah, quite a bit of traveling, buddy. It was a pretty good weekend.
Do you know where you are?
Yes, I do today. Yeah,
All right, good.
I did wake up. See, it's been a bit of a mess for me. Been a lot of road games here early in the season, and also moved to a new home. So most nights I wake up and don't know where the hell I am. And it's not for the reason you think.
Sometimes it's for the reason, I think.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
But it's just mostly because I'm not familiar with, like, my surroundings. So it's a little bit of an alarming feeling. Like at 2:30 in the morning, you're like, yeah, huh? You're like, okay. Or like you're in a city on the road and you wake up and you think you missed your alarm or something's wrong. Like, what happened? You go check and it's like 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. That's the worst.
It's a terrible feeling. Yeah. But apart from that, Anthony, very good.
Well, good. Nice. I know Carey had a big weekend.
I had a great weekend. ILL.
Fire up Illini.
Yeah. Got a big dub against Michigan State.
Got that win against Michigan State.
Yeah.
And your Steelers got a massive victory.
They're the best team in the AFC North. I thought we knew.
They are. They absolutely are.
I thought we were in agreement.
No,
we are now.
We weren't.
We were. But competition got the best of me. If that's what you're referring to, of me flipping from the Steelers to the Ravens in our pick'em pool.
You know, people make decisions.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it's the right decision, Anthony.
No, it wasn't.
The right decision is going with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, it certainly.
Go. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Steelers, here we go. Pittsburgh going to the Super Bowl. Here we go.
I mean, if you're not going to let them do it after a win against the Ravens, when are you going to do it?
Full disclosure, we're on the road. We're in, what cities? Raleigh. And big games are going on, but we had the early game. And so come out after the game. I'm getting on the bus. I'm like, checking the scores. And I don't have my phone out yet. John Kelly's got his phone out. He's like, I go, what happened in that Steelers game?
Yeah.
He goes, Steelers won. And in my head, I went, here we go. And I was like, no, stop.
It's contagious.
I almost texted to the group the little YouTube thing.
Yeah. It's contagious. I know.
Yeah. Chances are, as it turns out, Steelers absolutely legit. We'll get into that a little bit later on in the show. Jamie was, though, in Carolina for yesterday's Blues game.
Bit of a NFL, lots of games yesterday.
Well, we'll get into those.
Yeah,
we'll get into those.
We are the home of the Blues.
We are, yes, we are.
Saturday.
Yeah. Let's talk that.
Blues look good.
Little Stanley Cup 2019 rematch.
Yeah. Didn't end well for Boston then. Didn't end well for Boston on Saturday. Now you lose 4-1 to the Hurricanes yesterday. Hurricanes really good team.
Yeah, they are.
But Blues Jekyll and Hyde performance basically continues.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Don't you want it to be, though? Because I want them to be almost Jekyll and Hyde. It still means you're inconsistent at the end of the day.
Yeah, but I'd
rather feel like they're inconsistent than below average.
Yeah. Or how about out of gas? And so let's go over that for a second because as you're traveling with the team and broadcasting the games, you do a lot of deep dives, trying to figure out what's going on, trends, all that stuff, because you want to have something that you can inform people of while you're doing the game. The Blues top-end players have played more than any other top-end players in the NHL. Like their time on ice. Like if you take the top 5, 6, 7 guys, the total of their minutes eclipsed the total minutes of other teams' top 5, 6, 7 guys. They're tired. Suter and Parayko played, 33 minutes on Saturday for Suter. Guys, he's going to be 40 soon.
It's a lot of ice time.
He's playing very well. He's been super steady. I absolutely love the way he plays. He's got that old school mentality. Like any chance he gets to give somebody a cross check in the ribs or a slash behind the legs or a punch in the face when the ref isn't looking, he does it.
That's beautiful.
It's a beautiful thing. And Parayko, he's one of the top defensemen in the NHL right now.
Yeah.
Honestly, statistically and eye test, he's one of the top. He should be in the Norris Trophy conversation right now. He's not Cale Makar, but he's 11 points, 19 games, 5-on-5. He's a monster.
Yeah.
So those guys are playing a ton. Then you go Braden Shen. He played a ton on Saturday. Like every other shift, Braden Shen is out there because you're wanting to win that game. The problem is that the reinforcements the gap between their top players right now and their depth players is too big. This is where you're missing some of the other guys. Like if Robert Thomas comes back, boom, it bumps people down. It fills in that void between the top guys and the depth players. Yeah. Certainly on the defensive side, like you're missing Broberg, Leddy, and Krug. People can think what they want about Torrey Krug. He's still an elite NHL defenseman. He has been for a long time. Has he been elite here in St. Louis? There's been pockets of that. But now we find out he's been playing hurt the whole time.
Right.
So, but let's just take Torrey Krug and put it aside for now because it's not that he's not in the conversation. He's out for the season. So for conversation purposes, why bring it up?
Yeah.
But let's isolate Leddy, Broberg, and Suter for a second here. Suter's playing. Mm-hmm. Can you imagine what this defensive core looks like if you had Broberg and Leddy? So let's say Suter stays with Parayko. Broberg goes back with Falk. You have Leddy playing with Kessel or P.O. Joseph. You're 6'7" defense. You guys are good.
Yeah.
And you got good goaltending. Like, it changes a lot, man. You've got Corey Schooneman in the lineup right now, playing 16 minutes on Saturday against the Bruins. Guys, who's Corey Schooneman? And no disrespect. First of all, he's a hell of a kid. He's 29. He's a hell of a guy.
Yeah.
Okay? He's a depth piece for the Blues, a good pickup by Army, but he stepped in, played well. But again, who had Corey Schooneman on their bingo card playing 16 minutes?
Besides Carey, no one.
I told you guys.
Well, even Carey said that's a little high.
I did think it was a bit much.
Yeah.
You said, 12 to 13
11
minutes?
to 12, and I was, a little bit too much time.
So when you look at some of the pieces that are playing bigger minutes or elevated in the lineup, like that's going to happen. You're going to have a Boston game, and you're going to have a Carolina game.
Yep.
Now, the first half of the game, the Blues were fine. They outshot the Hurricanes in the first period. They carried the play. Where things started to go sideways, and I don't know if it's fatigue-related or not, is in the second period, the turnover started. And I mean, they didn't stop. It was turnover after turnover after turnover, bad pass after bad pass. So now, a couple things with that. Fatigue, it makes us all play worse. It just does. And then the Hurricanes, that's a fast team that they forecheck so aggressively that they force teams to be perfect or they turn the puck over. So I think, for me, it was a combination of all of that. But again, I'll go back to my original comment of if you're healthy, you're a different team. So the Blues right now, they just got to get through this patch. And there's a lot of games coming up. November's filled with games. December's filled with games. Like, you got a lot of hockey coming here. Broberg will be back at some point. He was supposed to be 4 to 6 weeks, so we'll see where that ends up. Robert Thomas was 4 to 6 weeks, reevaluated after 6 weeks. He's already back on the ice practicing. He's not in a contact jersey yet. How close is he? How far is he? I don't know. But he's on the ice practicing. So you start to get him back. And Leddy, no timetable on Nick Leddy. It's a little bit awkward. Nobody really knows what's going on, so obviously he's dealing with something a little more serious than we thought. But if you get Broberg and Thomas back anytime soon, in the next 2 to 3 weeks, that changes some of the trajectory for your team.
It seemed like last night, or yesterday, I should say, that late goal that the Hurricanes scored in the first period really sucked the life out of the Blues, because then, any late period goal is going to do that. And then, of course, 30 seconds to a minute into the first period, or the second period, they score again. And it just seemed like, you take that penalty at the end of the first period, and maybe that goes to what you're saying about fatigue. Because sometimes you just take dumb penalties, and sometimes you take fatigued penalties.
Yeah.
Not saying that's what that was, but it just really seemed like, because it sucked the life out of me watching. I'm like, oh my goodness gracious. Because I know what it's like when you get scored on in the final 2 minutes of a period. You lose a lot of your confidence. And I thought the Blues played really well in that first period, and then things went downhill from there.
And you're right. That's pretty much what happened. And then you're playing catch-up hockey against a team that is full-court press all the time. And let's be honest, they had their chances. The Blues had a couple of 2-on-1s. They had a couple of opportunities to score, and they didn't.
Yeah.
And they also didn't get to the inside. Kochetkov, their goalie, he saw almost every puck. You weren't getting net front presence. You didn't cause any chaos in front of them. You shot from distance. You outshot them, but you also shot from places that were really not dangerous.
And that, unfortunately, Jamie, I think we've seen that too many times to just go. I know what you're saying. Yesterday may have been fatigue. We have also seen the turnover problems,
Oh, yeah.
not getting in front of the net, not going body on body. in front of the net defensively. Those issues have popped up too many times. This is why you're whatever your record is right now.
Listen, I'm not sitting here trying to say that they're a Stanley Cup contender.
Yeah.
But I also have to
yesterday.
analyze each game individually. Yeah. I can't just necessarily throw them in a bucket and say this is the team right now.
I got you.
So many variables right now.
Can you use the fatigue as an excuse, though? Because Carolina also had a back-to-back, but I know they were at home for both games. Is that does that factor in?
No, but here's the thing with Carolina. They roll 4 lines.
Mm-hmm.
They roll 4 lines. Their minutes are dispersed rather evenly. Some guys get more time on the power play, as they should. But the gap between their top guys and their depth players is not huge. You go back to Saturday, some of the ice time for the Blues, some of those guys played a lot.
What was it? Ryan Suter, I think, skated like 3 miles or something.
4.6 miles.
4.6 miles. Oh, my God.
I haven't walked 4.6 miles.
That's a lot.
It's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot. So, but this is where you're at. If you're a Blues fan and you're watching this and you're frustrated, I get it, because I watch it and get frustrated at times. But this is where you're at. And Army's plan for this quick or sped up retool was great if there's no injuries.
Yeah.
If you've got no injuries, this team is competitive on almost every night. They just are. But with the injuries, it hurts your lineup, and you're going to have games where you look great, and then you'll have games where it doesn't work out, and it's going to be a bit of a roller coaster.
It's a Fast Lane on 101 ESPN with Andrew Marsh and Carey Davis and Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. So we missed this last Friday. Want to give you your shot to score a pair of tickets to this year's Musial Awards at Stiefel Theater on Saturday, November 23rd. The Musial Awards celebrate the year's greatest moments of sportsmanship and those in sports who embody class and character. This year's honorees include Hall of Fame broadcaster Bob Costas and NFL great Larry Fitzgerald Jr. Text in now to win free tickets to the Musial Awards at 314-399-9646. You can also register to win tickets at 101ESPN.com or on your 101 mobile app. Speaking of Larry Fitzgerald Jr., he was coached by CD's former OC. Who is that? Who coached both Larry Fitzgerald in Arizona and Carey Davis in Pittsburgh? If you know the answer to that and you have the 101st, and you are the 101st texter, you will win the free tickets to the Musial Awards. And again, you can check out your opportunity to win a bonus chance there on the 101 ESPN mobile app, brought to you by Schaefer Door Company. All right, boys, let's get into perhaps the biggest game of the weekend, not named Steelers and Ravens. I'm really interested to see where Carey Davis is today. He was bagging on Josh Allen and the Bills for multiple weeks at the start of the season.
Disgusting.
But he did hop on the Bills bandwagon on Friday when pushed through the Chiefs' sarcasm. Is he conflicted with the Bills beating the Chiefs? Does he feel vindicated? We're going to dive into Carey's mindset next here on 101 ESPN. One of the more underrated aspects of being a member of the Missouri Athletic Club is when my wife, Kristen, and I can sit down and look at the upcoming schedule and look at ways where we can get the kids involved in certain things. So whether it's camps throughout the course of the summer or maybe some winter classes to get them, off the couch and involved in some various, fun activities, Missouri Athletic Club, they've got something for everyone there. When it also comes to maybe, breakfast with Santa or any sort of holiday get-togethers, the MAC always puts out just fantastic things for the family, whether it is a brunch or a lunch or a get-together. They always do it right at the Missouri Athletic Club. That's my MAC.
Fakes left, now taken off. Gonna run for it, he got it! And there he goes! Inside the 10, the 5! Oh, the play of the year in the NFL!
An audio courtesy of CBS as the Chiefs fall for the first time this season, and the Bills pick up a huge victory. Josh Allen picking up that first down and the game-winning score, essentially, on that 4th and 2. It's a Fast Lane on 101 at ESPN with Jamie Rivers, Andrew Marshy, Anthony Stalter, Carey Davis.
Hey,
all over those Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen early in the year, but I feel like, Carey, and correct me if I'm wrong, you have been anticipating / waiting for the Chiefs to fall. I'm interested to know where you're at today following that game. Do you feel vindicated? Do you feel a little conflicted because you also didn't really believe in Josh Allen and the Bills?
Oh, come on. Have you heard what he said about Josh Allen? I don't even want him to say anything nice about Josh Allen.
Josh Allen, I think CD called a second-rate quarterback.
Says he'd be fine in the XFL.
Who couldn't hold Deshaun Watson's playbook.
What? I never said that.
I remember that.
That's
that was
what he
early,
said.
however, but he did say that.
Yeah.
Carey was salivating when he threw that interception yesterday.
To wrap. Yeah.
He jumped through a table when Josh Allen threw an interception.
Yeah, no. It was a good game. Great game by both teams.
Where are you, seriously?
Oh, don't give us.
Do you feel good?
The Chiefs don't have enough offensively to win games against good teams. That's how I felt. And I felt like, the Bills have been playing very well all season long. Josh Allen hasn't turned the ball over. He threw a pick yesterday, but he's done a really good job of taking care of the ball. When he doesn't, they lose games or they don't perform at the level that they need to, but he took care of the ball for the most part. Patrick Mahomes, I said this, they were in key situations, run man-to-man. Xavier Worthy showed you again, yes, he can beat you, but he does not know where he is on the field. You have to have awareness. That's the second or third time this season he's beaten a guy and has stepped out of bounds as soon as he catches it because he doesn't know where the hell he is. Mm-hmm. That's because he's a younger player. He will get better. But right now, you have a team in the Kansas City Chiefs that cannot beat you defensively off the ball. If you play zone, they're going to pick you apart. If you rush 4, drop 7, Patrick Mahomes is going to sit back there all day, and he's going to find a tight end, Gray, Kelsey, in one of the windows, and it's going to be a 12-yard game. And then they're going to pop one for 17, 18. Then they're going to find DeAndre Hopkins on the outside. But if you play man-to-man, and Xavier Worthy is the only one that can beat you, but he doesn't know where the heck he is on the field, I think you're okay. Mm-hmm. And the Bills did that from time to time. They got the interception. Like, they played a better game against a quarterback who is limited with the pieces around him. They just don't, in my opinion, offensively, they don't have enough.
Yeah. The Isaiah Pacheco injury was bad. The Rashee Rice injury was devastating.
Yeah.
Like each and every week you find that, you realize that even more. Not that we didn't realize that losing Rashee Rice was going to have a negative impact on the Chiefs' offense.
Mahomes shouldn't have hurt him.
Mahomes took him out, and then he took out his offense. Yep.
He's getting a little too much of the spotlight, and Mahomes didn't like that.
Yeah, he's like, you know what? I don't think so, Rashee Rice.
That's what that was?
But Rashee Rice, I know that Worthy has speed, but Worthy, like you're saying, CD, if Worthy doesn't develop as a receiver, then that speed can go to waste. We've seen the good and the bad of a young rookie wide receiver. Now, in fairness, Rashee Rice wasn't who he was until the end of last year. Mm-hmm. He developed each and every week. I think Xavier Worthy is more raw as a route runner than Rice was coming out of college. But nonetheless, it is open. Maybe Worthy gets better by the end of the season.
Yes.
But that offense, that dynamic, that deep threat in the passing game just isn't there. Mm-hmm. Mahomes is still playing well, but when the chips are down, you need a big play. The turnovers are up. The deep throws are not there, or at least not being completed, and it leaves the Chiefs vulnerable. And unfortunately, the defense is starting to show some cracks. Better now than in January because, again, you still got to beat the Chiefs in January. The Bills, I've said this week in and week out, you have to be perfect to beat the Chiefs. You have to play a full 60-plus minutes. The Bills did it. They're the first team this year to do so. That 4th and 2, we've seen other teams not pick up against Kansas City, and Mahomes goes right down the field for the game winner.
It was also a good decision. I mean, they knew, like, in years past, they probably would have kicked the field goal. You don't give him the ball back. You try to finish the game. 4th and 2, put the ball in your best player's hand, allow him to either run it or pass it. He ran it, picked up the first down. Oh, crap, I can go score. Let me finish the game off. Mm-hmm. And that's what he did. You don't give Patrick Mahomes the ball back. There are certain quarterbacks in this league, you don't give them an opportunity to go downfield and beat you, or tie the game, because they more than likely will. So I thought it was a good game plan by the Bills. I thought they played extremely well. I thought Josh Allen played really well. Again, he had the one turnover, but at the end of the day, when you needed a play to be made, Josh Allen made that play. Yep. And I think that's the difference from the other teams that the Chiefs have beaten throughout this entire year. Other teams were unable to finish the game. And you want to finish the game without him having a chance to tie the game or beat you. And if you can do that, you're good to go.
Yeah, so let's recap the season for the Chiefs. They've won a bunch of games that they probably shouldn't have won. Let's just be honest about it. Some of the close games, they won them because they have Patrick Mahomes and they have Andy Reid. They got through a bunch of obstacles, missing receivers, running backs, all that stuff. Their game was not pretty. It's been almost ugly all season long, but they've been winning. Why? Because they have that championship mentality, and they have the best quarterback in the game and arguably the best head coach in the game. Yesterday was different. Regular season game, first of all. Okay? There was no going home if you lose this game. So right. I tie weight to that, meaning, like, Josh Allen played great. The Bills played. I picked the Bills to win that game. I thought it lined up perfectly in Buffalo, the Bills to beat the Chiefs, because the Chiefs have been hanging on for so many games. It's like, okay. But now, Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, and the rest of the crew over there in Arrowhead land, now they've seen the Bills. And they're going to be from yesterday on, they're going to be building a game plan because they know paths are going to cross again at some point. Mm-hmm. And when that happens, which is going to be the playoffs, the Chiefs are going to be well prepared. So I think Buffalo is the better team right now overall. But if they were playing 2 weeks from now in a playoff game, I'd pick the Chiefs.
I think both. I think the win for the Bills and the loss for the Chiefs served both teams pretty well, believe it or not. Like, you could tell Patrick Mahomes at the end of it was like, hey, you know what? Undefeated season's great. That's not what we're about. And I think they'll probably try to pick up on some things. I think there's more right now left to be desired from a defensive standpoint in terms of like learning maybe certain ways that the Bills are going to attack you than what the Chiefs can do offensively. They need Pacheco back. They need, I don't know if Rice is going to come back at any point, but they need Worthy to develop into a deep threat. Those are the two things they need offensively. Otherwise, I think, Jamie, to what you're saying, this is a different Bills-looking team now. The Chiefs played them. Now they have an opportunity to scout and kind of go back to maybe looking at some tells in the playoffs. Because these two teams, I mean, they do seem like they're destined to meet again in the postseason.
Are you saying the best quarterback on the planet needs weapons in order to be successful?
I think, no, not in order to be successful, because he is 9-1. And he's won Super Bowls with an S without some of the best wide receivers.
He's had the
We won a
best.
Super Bowl
But
last
that
year
is an element that's
without
missing.
a receiver.
Yes.
Because he got a receiver.
He had Rice.
Yeah, he got another one. Who's the other one, Anthony?
I can't say it.
You can. You don't believe he's a tight end? So he's got to be a receiver.
No, I'll save that. Yeah, Travis Kelce.
Okay. There you
Yeah, I
go.
thought you were
How's
talking
he
about
doing
somebody
this
else.
year?
Yeah, D-Hop.
MVS?
Yeah.
How's Kelsey doing this year?
He's doing much better now without Rashee Rice.
Still not having a dominant season.
Not a dominant.
He's an older
He's not
gentleman,
what he was.
What's with you and your age problem today?
I'm old. I understand.
But why do you hate other old people?
I don't. I just, when they play sports,
Hey.
it gets bad.
Well,
You
The
came
older
in
you
today
get.
just like mad at everybody who's old.
Well, listen.
yeah.
Not mad.
At one point,
Not
I didn't feel
necessarily.
that for Ryan Suter,
At
though.
one point,
Not
I felt
necessarily.
like he tried to kick my legs out from under me.
Not necessarily at them. Just watching them at times.
And maybe that stems back to Friday night. What's trending is next on 101 ESPN. You got to get out to Auto Centers Nissan Herculaneum. Go see my friends out there because right now they've got their Black Friday everyday event that was extended through December 2nd. But you got to take advantage of those moments now, those opportunities to take advantage of the low financing rates. 0% APR on Pathfinders and Rogues. 0.9% APR on Frontier. Plus no payments for 3 months available on select new Nissans too. They got brand new Nissan Kicks priced around $20,000. Brand new Nissan Sentras that are priced around $23,000 and both with low payment options for all credit types. Here's the thing. When it comes to Auto Centers Nissan Herculaneum, they've got over 700 vehicles, both new and pre-owned, that are available all in one location. They're not constantly saying, well, we got to bring that car in from another location. It's going to be a couple of days. No, you can view everything online at autocentersnissan.com, and then when you head down to the dealership, that vehicle is going to be there for you so that you can test drive it. My wife, Chris, and I, we went through the same process when we wound up with a pre-owned Pathfinder that we love, and we got it right there at Auto Centers Nissan. Check them out online, autocentersnissan.com. When you do head out to Herculaneum, tell them Stalter sent you. It's Auto Centers Nissan.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Blues, after defeating the Boston Bruins on Saturday in overtime, they lose to the Carolina Hurricanes yesterday, 4-1 the final. The Blues will take on the Wild on Tuesday. Pregame starts at 6. Puck drop is at 7. Also, earlier today, Elliot Friedman posted on X that Kapanen has been placed on waivers. We'll talk a little bit about that later in the show, so stay tuned for that. Also, tonight we have Cowboys and Texans Monday Night Football. You can listen to that right here on 101 ESPN. Pregame starts at 6:30. We have What's Trending coming up next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
It's time to find out what's going on in the sports world with What's Trending Now. Brought to you by Goodwill. Donate a car and get tickets to the St. Louis Cardinals.
Welcome back to the Fast Lane here on 101 ESPN with Anthony Stalter, Jamie Rivers, and Carey Davis. I'm Andrew Marsh, and it's time for What's Trending. Gentlemen, let's get to the Jake Paul and Mike Tyson fight on Friday night. I'm sure a lot of people were hoping for Michael Buffer. Instead, they just got Buffering from Netflix. And they were probably looking for a good fight, and they just got two dudes standing in the ring for 8 rounds.
That's correct. Oh, Carey, you disagree?
Well, one is an older gentleman, and so
Here he goes again. Age problems.
Here we go.
Here we go. He was struggling with his legs. Legs didn't quite work the way that they normally do. Jamie, you know this. To be an athlete, everything starts from the ground up. You got to be able to move. If you can't move, you won't have success. And so, yeah, he was unable to move. Now, had he stood there and let Jake Paul come to him, maybe he could have hit him with something, but he couldn't go get him. So I didn't have a problem with it. I actually walked away from that with a little bit more respect for Jake Paul, because I honestly feel like now you put yourself in harm's way if you try to harm Mike Tyson, because again, that means you got to get closer. But he didn't attempt to harm him, and he understood that that's an older gentleman. Could be my father, you know. It's like beating up on your dad. No need to do that. So I walked away with more respect for Jake Paul. I also walked away with the understanding that Jake Paul can't fight a real boxer. Like, he can't box. It would be bad.
He struggled against Tyson, and Tyson couldn't move.
That's what I'm saying. Like
he struggled to hit him.
And that's what I mean. He was
hitting
slipping,
a target that could barely move.
Mike was slipping his punches.
Mike was slipping pretty good.
He was slipping a lot of his punches.
How he could move then.
Well, that doesn't require you to move your legs.
Oh, it does.
Nah, not as much.
Carey, you ever slip a punch? What's that?
Yeah.
My legs are bending. My legs are moving, Carey.
I can't go forward. Like, he couldn't go forward.
You and I will
fast
not agree
enough.
on this. I can promise you.
Because the older, when you listen, your arms start to get heavy, your legs start to get heavy. He had nothing left. If those would have been 3-minute rounds, he would have sat down in that corner.
That's why they made it 2 minutes.
He wouldn't have made it. So it was. I take my hat off to Jake Paul. They both got paid. You know, I wouldn't watch it again. I'll never watch it again. I got Netflix, so I didn't have to pay for it. Obviously, I already paying for it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it is what it
So
is.
here's where we differ, Carey, is one, I agree, I'm done with the Jake Paul experiment as well. Okay? I'll agree with you on that. Problem I have, and I surf the internet and do some things, and I watch YouTube and whatnot. Mike Tyson in the first round was moving good. Even after that, he had explosiveness in the 4th and the 6th and the 7th round, to where he showed, like, those videos, he was going side, and then he'd stop. And it goes back. Hear me out. You had your turn, sir.
I'll zip it.
In the first round, Tyson hits him with a right, and then he hits him with a left and drives him back about 3 feet. And the look in Jake Paul's eye after that was almost like, what the hell are you doing? And then they clinch up. And if you look at the video, there's two different angles. You see Jake Paul talking to Mike Tyson. Talking to him. And the referee doesn't separate them. He stands back and lets them talk for a second, then comes in. And then from that moment on, it was amazing. Mike couldn't hit him. And then you watch Mike's pulling punches. He goes to throw a punch and he cuts it short. Goes to throw a punch and he cuts it short. The fight was rigged. I don't listen. I know Tyson's old. I'll give you that. He's old. And he looked old at times. But the fight was planned. We'll put it that way.
We have a speed bag now outside of Ryder's office. I want you to go stand there for 2 minutes and hit that speed bag and then do a segment and then go hit it again for 2 minutes.
I have no problem doing that because I do that shit all the time.
So what I'm saying to you...
I do that stuff all the time. Gary,
what I'm saying to you is...
I hit the heavy bag for 2-minute intervals.
What I'm saying to you is when you're throwing punches... You get tired.
I know. Mike didn't throw punches.
Because he was gassed.
No, because he was told not to.
Well, listen.
Don't you throw punches, Mr. Tyson,
We can
please.
agree to disagree.
We will never agree.
He got paid. The competitor in me would not allow myself to stand there and get punched on.
Yeah.
I don't think he had anything in the tank. I think his legs were done. I think he's an older gentleman.
He is. I'm not. See, this is the part we're not disagreeing on that part.
When you get older, man, like I get up, I went and did that speed. I worked out every day, almost. I worked out 5 days a week. I did that speed bag and came in here and was trying to catch my breath before the segment started.
But you're not used to doing that. But in fairness, if you did that every day for 3 months, you'd be able to do it.
I agree.
So,
but if I was 58 and doing it every day,
true in their own thing.
Whether it was planned or not planned, it stunk.
It was horrible.
It was horrible. It was not entertaining. Marsh, you and I are on the side here of like we watched it from an entertainment standpoint.
For sure.
I wasn't necessarily interested. I had, we had buddies in town. My lifelong buddies, Doug and Josh, and their families are in. And my buddy Josh goes, "Hey, Tyson fights." I didn't even realize it was on Netflix. I'm like, I'm not paying for that. He goes, "No, you have Netflix?" Yeah. So we sat there and watched it buffer for the first 2 rounds, and then finally came back on. Crappy picture, and from what I could tell, it wasn't entertaining. It wasn't entertaining at all. And I thought it was lame at the end where he's spraying the thing and his brother's piping off to Tyson. I thought the whole thing was lame. It wasn't entertaining at all, and I thought it was a complete dud.
It was a waste of time.
A lot of people watched it.
It was not great. It was not great.
It stunk.
It was not great at all.
It was bad.
I'm not saying it was great.
Go ahead,
Trust
Marsh.
me.
What were you saying?
I was just saying it was a waste of time. Like, it was terrible. Like, what? That was a who's who's event. Show up to Jerry's World, and if you got it, I feel bad for people that bought tickets. Actually, you know what? I take that back. I don't feel bad for people that bought tickets because you should expect this from Jake Paul. He's fought one actual boxer, Tommy Fury, and he lost. Where's that rematch?
Right.
Well, you won't see it.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a promoter.
He's a promoter, and he does a great job at it.
Exactly. Clearly,
it's a great job.
He got everybody paid. That was a total money grab. He got Tyson paid.
Yeah.
He got himself paid.
They got paid
promoters
big
paid.
time.
Yeah.
Everybody got paid except for, anybody that was going to watch it.
Except for Tyson, if he would have knocked him out in the first round.
Yeah, you're right. He probably would have got docked half of the pay.
I think I could be wrong on this. I believe the amount of money that the highest amount of money that Tyson could have made was if he went 8 rounds and lost.
Yeah.
There you go.
Which is what is
they
that?
had a no knockout rule in there,
So
which is weird.
It was a no knockdown. You couldn't get knocked down because if you get knocked down, I believe 2 or 3 times.
Three knockdown.
It's over. There was a no knockdown.
And I swear they were wearing the exact same pillows I have on my bed. They were wearing those as gloves.
You know who I would like to
14-ounce
see?
gloves.
If Jake Paul wants to earn some more respect, fight Deontay Wilder. He's an older gentleman. He's 39. He's lost 4 of his last fights.
That guy's
4 of his last 5 fights.
That guy's enormous.
He's got knocked out. They're the same weight.
To Marsh.
No, are they?
Jake Paul is what did he come in weighing? 230?
Yeah, about 228, I think.
Yeah.
To Marsh's point, though, he's not going to fight him.
He won't fight him.
Why would you?
Right.
You're making bank fighting all these novelty fights. You're not
But
really getting hurt.
it's going to end at some that's
He's
probably
already
the
made
end
over
of it.
$200 million doing
Maybe,
this stuff.
Right.
But that's the end of it.
It's just his boxing purse, $200 million. That's nothing to do with the advertising, his companies, everything attached to it.
Yeah. All right, that's what's trending here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Carey Davis and the Pittsburgh Steelers
Here we go.
proving that they are the team to beat in the AFC North. Where would you put them, though, in the AFC overall? Here's the other question. Are the Ravens essentially the same team despite adding Derrick Henry? That's next on 101 ESPN.
Circus Sports, the app is awesome. My guy Derek Stevens, who owns Circa Casino in Las Vegas, Nevada. He had a dream a long time ago, a long time, in Detroit, for that matter. And he said, I want to own the world's largest sports book. Why? Because he's a longtime bettor. He loves betting on sporting events. And he thought that it would be something that Vegas could use and need. And they did. And he created the world's largest sports book right there. Now it's in the palm of your hand. And it's super easy to download. You can go to their website, or you can find it on the App Store. It's easy to use. The lines are simple. Your odds are great. They get tight money lines for that matter. There's no betting limits either, which is awesome for people who want to bet big. Go for it. It's a Jake Paul Tyson fight. Go ahead. Bet big on that. But me, I like to keep it in the NHL. And tonight there are a couple of games on the list here that I like. I like Montreal. They're a big underdog at plus 225, but the game is in Montreal. I like them on the money line. So that's one I'm going to be putting in there with my Circa Sports Illinois app. And you should really enjoy all of the odds that are available on there because they make it sports betting the way it should be. So don't miss out on the action. Download Bet Like a Pro with your Circa Sports Illinois app today and join in on the excitement. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
answer was there. Joey Porter Jr. flocking to the quarterback.
CBS, that audio courtesy of CBS yesterday, as the Ravens come up short, at least from the 2-point standpoint, because that failed 2-point attempt would have only tied the game at 18 apiece with just under a minute. But the Steelers locked down Lamar Jackson. Weird 2-point conversion attempt there. I don't really know what the design was, but it didn't work, bottom line. And the Steelers hold on to beat the Ravens 18-16 and have taken essentially a 1.5 game lead in the AFC North. And what's kind of jarring, even though the Ravens have some uglier losses, we still have had them consistently in the top 5 in kind of our power rankings, and I know a lot of people have had that same deal. They're now the 6th seed with that loss. So, Carey, congratulations to your Steelers.
Oh, thank you.
Big moment yesterday. Before we get into the Ravens and maybe some of the issues that continue to pop up for them, what really stood out to you about your Steelers?
Defense. I mean, you get after the ball carrier, you create a couple of fumbles to start the game. First couple of plays of the game, get a fumble from Derrick Henry. You create another fumble from Isaiah Likely. You get a pick by on Lamar Jackson. Defensively, they are sound. They are going to get after the quarterback. They're going to play sound defense on the back end, and they're not going to allow chunk plays. And if you don't allow chunk plays, there were a few there, but if you prevent the chunk plays and are able to keep the team out of the end zone, you're going to have success. They did get helped by Justin Tuck missing a couple of field goals. That helped. You never expect that to happen. I'm not going to complain.
He's having a bad year.
He is having a pretty bad year, which is, he's Justin Tucker. I was calling Justin Tucker. I'm thinking
the defensive
end from the Giants. Justin Tucker missing a couple of field goals. But they found a way to win. Like, you didn't get any touchdowns from the offense. You got 6 field goals. We've seen this before. That's the Atlanta Falcons. You can win with 18 points from your field goal kicker, as long as you're not allowing points from the opposing offense. And that's what they did. They opened up. The one bad play that I can talk about is the Russell Wilson interception down in the red zone. That was a terrible decision. It was a terrible throw. Yeah. It's a terrible decision. You're there. All you need to do is kick another field goal. You put it out of reach at that point. I think you're up by 11 if you kick that field goal. You throw the interception. You allow them to go downfield and score. But they played a really good game. Despite not scoring any offensive touchdowns, they took care of the ball, and they kicked field goals. If you end drives with kicks, extra points or field goals, you normally have a chance to win. If you end drives with turning the ball over, you're probably going to lose. And that's what the Steelers took care of the football, kicked field goals, won the game.
Yeah, they continue to find ways to win. You're right.
It doesn't matter how it happens. It just find a way to win.
Just find a way to win the game. Whether it's 19 field goals by Chris Boswell and the defense locking down, or Russell Wilson throwing one of his moon balls to the end zone. Like they just continue to find ways, and different guys step up for them each and every week. And the Steelers have had one of the more I don't want to call it surprising, but I guess that's the only word that kind of fits. They've had one of the more surprising seasons. I didn't expect them
more surprised. Yeah, I didn't even think they'd be in the conversation.
I didn't expect them to be 8-2 at this.
You all didn't
time
respect Russ.
No, absolutely not.
I know.
Yeah,
what's the problem?
Let me ask you guys a question though. Of the games that they have left, the only 2 games that look like easy games are the 2 versus the Browns. After that, they play the Bengals, the Eagles, the Ravens, the Chiefs, the Bengals. Is there a scenario where the Steelers play themselves out of a playoff spot? Because I know they're winning games right now, and I'm not disrespecting their record. I'm certainly not disrespecting Mike Tomlin and the Steelers' defense. They're elite. Yes, great. Their offense is not. And their field goal kicker,
Chris Boswell's elite.
He might as well be their MVP at this point. He's won 2 games single-handedly for the Steelers.
That's correct.
Not single-handedly, but offensively. Because the defense had something to do with that. When you're only getting field goals, the defense doing a pretty good job. But if the defense has any games where they are not stellar, like, do the Steelers find themselves at the end of the season go, oh, my God, I can't believe what just happened?
I think at some point, knowing the Steelers and Mike Tomlin and Carey, you obviously know the team way better than I do. I think they'd almost embrace it. They'd almost embrace the fact that, look, we just win games. We don't care how it's done. Statistically, we don't care.
Will they win the games?
I don't know if it's. I don't think they. To answer your question, no, I don't think they play themselves out of a playoff spot.
Okay.
Do I think the division is out of reach now? Absolutely not. And I think because of what you're saying with the schedule and the way it's set up, we'll see what happens. But I do know this: Mike Tomlin will not allow the Steelers to read their press clippings like some of the other teams that thought they were good and then get smoked by Denver and a bad Saints team. Those are the teams.
What team is that?
I can't remember. Mike Tomlin won't allow the Steelers to read their press clippings.
I think with the Steelers, there's that phrase, offense is the best defense. I think for the Steelers, defense is the best offense.
Yeah, defense is the best way to kick field goals.
Yeah.
Listen, hey, it doesn't matter. You guys can, it is what it is. They're allowing 16 points a game.
They've been great.
They're allowing
just gave him a
14. No.
compliment.
That was more directed towards
okay.
him.
What the hell?
Well, that's because his team got
He's
blown
angry
out this
today.
past week.
I'm not angry at all. I saw that.
he's angry
Oh,
today.
yeah, thank you. I saw that thing coming.
Now you've been angry the whole
Nah,
day.
I got 2 W's
You
this
don't like
weekend.
old
I'm great.
people.
I like old people. I'm an older person, headed in that direction. 16 points a game. In their 8 wins, 14 points a game. Like they are playing. And I don't want to use the word because Pittsburgh has seen some elite defenses, but they get after the ball carrier. The play that T.J. Watt made on Derrick Henry in the backfield, you never see Derrick Henry tackled in the backfield by one person. T.J. Watt is a football player, man. He gets after the quarterback. He's not lacking in the run game. Most pass rushers don't care about the run game. I had a teammate, really good one, Dwight Freeney, Hall of Famer, said, yeah, every play is a pass, unless it's a run. That was the mindset.
I'm going to get after the quarterback.
Getting to the QB, doesn't matter. But T.J. Watt plays both. He does a good job in the pass game and in the running game. And if you're allowing 16 points a game, 2 touchdowns, essentially, we can figure that out. We can score enough to win games, and that's what they've been doing. And they're going to continue to win games. They got 2. I think, for me, right now, that was their first division opponent. They're 1-0 in the division. You got the Cleveland Browns. You're probably 3-0 there. You're gonna maybe you split with Baltimore, maybe not, because they've lost, I think, 7 or 8 of their last 9 games against Pittsburgh. So
I think that yesterday
that was 8 of 9.
7 in a row, I think, too.
I don't know if it's 7 in a row.
Oh, no, it wasn't. Excuse me.
I think it's 8 of 9 now.
You're right, because the Ravens did win like 2 years
in
ago.
2000,
Yeah.
2020 or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Pittsburgh has done a great job. Everyone was conflicted. Oh, they're ruining it with Russell. No, they're not. Russell was the right decision. And Justin Fields got a couple of plays in that game as well. He came in. He should have gotten the first down. He slid, but he came in a crucial moment late in that game to try to pick up a first down. And the last play of the game, before they took a knee, he was in there as well, because it gives you that element. Is he going to keep it, or are they going to hand it off? Hand it off to Najee Harris, pick up 1 yard, first down, game over. Like, they have things that they can do to keep teams off balance. And if you can play defense the way that they do, sign me up. Pittsburgh going to the Super Bowl.
Speaking of being old, how old did you feel seeing Joey Porter Sr. in the suite with his son making a huge tackle to keep that game from being tied?
Yeah, he was fired up. I watched all of Joey Porter's career, so yeah, it's a little weird. It's always weird to me when you watch a player get drafted. Like, you watch him in college, you watch him drafted, and then now you're watching the son. It's just another indication that you're old, Jamie.
How about when you play with a player and then, like, 15 years later, you play with his son?
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, because that happened.
Yeah.
I played with Peter Stasny here in the early 90s, and then I played with his son Jan Stasny in like 06, 07.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Good.
You know what, though? That means you had a good long
Yeah, I was about
career.
to say,
There you go.
absolutely. Yeah.
I'll take it. Yes,
Yeah,
thank you,
certainly.
Marshy.
So we didn't dive into the Ravens, but I do think there's a kind of an interesting aspect to Baltimore. They continue to lose games like this in familiar ways, and that certainly isn't good as we move forward here with the Ravens and you look ahead toward the playoffs. Again, they're losing games similar each and every time. But again, we'll dive into that a little bit deeper. The Blues have waived Kasperi Kapanen. Is this an indication that Robert Thomas might be back sooner rather than later? We'll get into it next on 101 ESPN. The Blues have waived Kapanen. Does this signal that maybe Robert Thomas will be back before we know it? It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN 302. Your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. Jamie,
yes.
Why now with Kapanen being waived?
I don't know exactly why right now because, I'm not privy to the meetings that Doug Armstrong has with his coaching staff. Carey, did you have a question?
No,
I thought you were going to answer that.
No, every now and then my shoulder gets kind of stuck, so I kind of had to.
Oh, is this another old thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
I thought it was like raise my hand, and then he just blurts out because he's not playing good.
Yeah.
I thought he raised his hand, and then I said what he was going to say, so he lowered his hand.
No, I was just stretching.
You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. So, again, we're not privy to Army's...
Late penalty.
Waved off. We're not privy to Army's meetings with the staff. For me, it doesn't automatically signal that Robert Thomas is coming back. Like, Thomas hasn't even had a practice in full contact yet. Like, he's not going to play tomorrow.
Why not?
Because he'd have to have a real practice, Anthony.
Gotcha.
So he's not going to play tomorrow. So it seems like a little premature. If that is the corresponding move, that seems kind of premature for me. Right. So maybe it's a couple of days. Like maybe Tomer's going to play on Thursday or maybe Saturday when they start the road trip in New York. Who knows, right? I do think that he's closer than ever to being back in the lineup. I don't think it's right now. But the Blues currently with Robert Thomas have 14 forwards after waiving Kapanen. So 15. So they still have an extra forward.
Yeah.
Like Zach Bolduc was the healthy scratch in Carolina. So you still have an extra forward in theory. So maybe you're just accruing a little bit of salary cap money because every time you send a guy down, you get that money back. And because of Kasperi Kapanen's contract, the whole contract can come off the salary cap because he makes a low enough amount. It's like in that 1 million ... whatever. There's a specific number that you have to be under. So maybe he's just, building up the salary cap kitty, or maybe he's just saying to the owners, well, we don't see us using this player, so let's send him down, or let's waive him, see if somebody else will pick him up, or send him down. So again, I don't necessarily think it coincides directly to Robert Thomas's return. Do I think that Thomas is soon or coming back soon? Yes, I do. I think this has everything to do with the fact that whether it's Kasperi Kapanen's responsibility or the coaching staff's responsibility to give him more ice time, he just wasn't able to contribute. He just wasn't. He's had opportunity. He's been up and down the lineup. And I've said this before. I'm a big fan of Kasperi Kapanen. And let me make sure I make this clear. Not that I think he's a star player but he's been a really good teammate with this club. He's worked extremely hard. He plays hard. The problem is he doesn't accomplish much offensively. He doesn't put numbers up on the board like you think he should, because when you watch the player, like, whoa, he's fast. He can shoot the puck. He's got great hands. Like, man, this guy could be a player. But then it never seems to translate into offense. But then the argument could be made by somebody else, well, he never got a chance either.
Yeah.
He did. He did get some chances, especially when he first got here. He was playing up in the top 6 forwards in Verona. Those guys were both playing elevated in the lineup. It's just that I think if you're looking at it from an organization standpoint, where when Robert Thomas does come back, when he is activated, one's got to go. So is it Bolduc, Texier, or Kapanen? That's pretty much your choices. If you're looking at a team that's in a retool looking to give some younger guys some opportunity, then it's Kapanen.
Right.
So process of elimination tells me that no matter what, it was always going to be Kapanen.
And he kind of served his purpose for the Blues. He was that addition a couple of years ago at the trade deadline when they picked him, when Doug Armstrong picked him up basically as a flyer. And he was going to serve as one of the guys that kind of bridged the gap last year. He for all intents and purposes, he's like you said, he's a good teammate and he was fine. But ultimately, are you losing anything big by waiving him? No.
You're not. And I think if nothing else, what's happened is some of the younger guys have proven that they can play elevated in the lineup to the same ability as Kasperi Kapanen. 10 games this year, Kapanen has 1 goal and he's -6, which is not great. When you don't play a lot and you're -6, that actually tells a story. And I'm not a big plus-minus guy, you know, because these things can be skewed a certain way, especially when you have a guy that plays half the game, every game. Obviously, and your team doesn't score as many goals as other teams, which the Blues don't. Then do the math. You're obviously going to be on the negative side of that. But for Kapanen, he's only got 1 goal, -6. And you look up the lineup. You look at Texier, he's played 11 games, he's got 3 points. Bolduc, 14 games, 4 points. Like, the younger players are bringing more to the table in the same role. It's not like those guys have had a ton more ice time than Kasperi Kapanen. It's tough because, you get a guy like Kapanen who's 28 years old right now. He was a 22nd overall first-round pick. There were high expectations for this player, and he delivered. Early on in his career, he delivered, and then for whatever reason, the last handful of years, since he went back to Pittsburgh, it just has kind of gotten off the rails for him. And now he's either going to be picked up by a team that wants to add a veteran guy, or he'll go down to Springfield if he goes. Like, sometimes guys like this don't report. They're like, I'm not going to play in the American League. Just terminate my contract. You don't have to pay me, and I'll go sign a contract in Finland, Switzerland, Russia. And, Kasperi Kapanen, a guy like him, could play in Switzerland right now, probably making $500,000 tax-free. They give him a place to live, and they give him a car, and he'll play till he's 40 years old in that league because of the way his skills are. So maybe that's a better life, too. I don't know.
Sure.
Does Bolduc get an opportunity? Is he where are they at with him? Why is he not getting as many opportunities to play, top 6 minutes? What's going on with that? And is he better suited to be there than, a third or fourth line guy because of the skill set that he has?
Yeah, it's kind of a weird situation, to be honest. I thought he'd have more opportunity up in at least the middle 6. I'm not saying top 6 because I think he's still got work to do to get to that spot, but he has played 14 games. He did get some time in the middle 6 spot. He also got time on the second power play unit, limited time, but did get time on the second power play unit. And he hasn't been able to put a goal in the net yet. 14 games, he's got 4 assists. So he's +2, so he's being responsible out there. And when you watch him play, I like the way he's playing. I like his effort. He's working hard. He's playing a little more aggressive physically, but he hasn't been able to put a goal in the net. And when you're that type of player, at some point you have to produce the offense. Now, maybe he'll get that opportunity again here.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Marshy.
Oh, no,
I was going to say, is he more of a volume guy, though, like a guy that I think he's averaging 11 minutes on ice? Is he more of a guy that needs more time on ice to get, because that to me, that's like some players.
Do you just give it away, Carey?
No, you don't give it away. Because you never give it away.
Here's where
you got to earn it.
Go ahead, Marshy.
I was just saying, give it away, give it away.
Not like
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
There it is. Nice.
They told me last week.
He said Beastie Boys.
This is where I think the Blues are going to have to internally maybe decide what the plan is here, because right now they're still playing, coaching, and running the lines like they're trying to compete for like a spot like the Foxa line, the WTF line.
Right.
They're very reliable. They've started the last 2 games. They're playing very well together, but they're also getting a lot of ice time. And I wouldn't consider any of those 3 guys to be like a top-line threat anytime in the future. Like, I think that's what they are. At the height of what they are right now is the third line. And that's great. They're playing well. I love every single one of those guys. I love watching them play, but they're playing more than, like, Zach Bolduc's a healthy scratch. So whose ceiling is higher? Zach Bolduc's ceiling is higher, but he can't get in the lineup because you're still playing, your checking line in there, or your energy line. So it's tough. This is where the retool becomes very confusing and very tough for both the organization and the fan base, because both the fan base and the organization want to win hockey games. And to do that, you play what you think are the best players. You don't play what you think could be the best player in 2 years.
Right.
But then when you're retooling and you're trying to move the needle forward here a little bit, playing guys like Texier and Bolduc should take precedence. And if you lose, you lose. It is what it is, right? This is part of the retool, because Bolduc could be on the line in 2 years with Dvorsky and Snuggerud. That could be your second line. But you can't do that if they don't get a chance to play. So it's a weird spot right now where the Blues are in.
And that's what I wanted to bring up, the confusion of that some fans might have. Well, I was told that this is a retool. We always talk about communication from the front office. We always bring that up with the Cardinals. there seems to be confusion because Bolduc isn't playing at the rate that I think people would expect him to because you're in a quote-unquote retool. But I understand, like, Drew Bannister's trying to coach like his job is on the line. Like, he wants to be the coach for more than just 2 years. I understand that. But I think when it comes down to the Blues and them not playing him, and you're saying, well, okay, well, that means this team is trying to win games, but you're not winning games even when he's not in the lineup. Like, that's where the confusion is. And maybe things will change once the healthy bodies come back. But I think for me, it's just like I'd like to see him play a little bit more.
Yeah, and some of the onus has to go back on the player here, too.
For sure.
He hasn't scored. He's had a couple of breakaways. He's had a couple of really good chances, and he hasn't put the puck in the net. And so, at some point, the player has to produce if he wants to be elevated, whether that's just to be in the lineup or elevated within the lineup. I don't think we're at a point yet with this retool where we just gratuitously give players ice time because, well, we think this is what we should do. I still think there's a responsibility on the player to go and earn said ice time, create offensive chances, create high danger opportunities.
Are you just pushing it back, though, his development, or do you see this as a learning curve for him to where he can learn, okay, I'm not in the lineup every night. Like, what do I have to do now to get back in the lineup? And maybe, I don't know, 12 games from now, he becomes a guy where you're like, oh my gosh, like this is the guy that we all thought he could be.
So here's where I am with Bolduc is there's a lot of argument or discussion rather back and forth about like, well, he should be down in the American Hockey League and playing every shift. And yes, in theory, but Zach Bolduc, watching him and the way he practices and the way he talks to the coaching staff and the way he absorbs information, like he is learning way more on the job up here in the NHL than he would be in the American Hockey League.
And that's the discussion we had about Jordan Walker too. Like, why send him down
so
when you can just learn up here?
Same thing. Now, in hockey, you have a greater ability to continue to develop within the season because you have bigger breaks. Baseball, you're playing almost every single friggin' day. And this is why Bolduc's going to get some days off. This is why Texier is going to get some days off because there's going to be days within the week where that's coaching moment. You're not going to play tonight. We're going to work on this. We're going to watch video. You're not going to play this night because you got this to worry about. Right now, for the moment, I see Bolduc, his development will be better by being in the NHL right now than just getting all that complimentary ice time down in the American Hockey League.
That's Jamie Rivers, Andrew Marsh. I'm Anthony Stalter. Carey Davis has his NFL Week 11 game notes next.
Anthony, as an aging man, as Carey would call me today.
Carey.
I know, right?
Well, I guess we're all aging.
We're all aging.
Yep.
But you don't have to feel like you are. You don't have to feel like you've got no stamina, no legs, and you want to hit that heavy bag every day, Anthony.
Or Jake Paul.
Or Jake Paul. Either way. Either one's a good idea. But sometimes you're low in testosterone, and you can't figure out why you're feeling tired, dragged out, and just irritable, and none of it's fun. So that's why you go see our friends over at Mentality. 2 locations, Anthony. You like the South County location, closer to you. Chesterfield, closer to me. You walk in. The staff does an amazing job of finding out what's going on, explaining things to you, and then when they take the blood panel, that's when you get your results.
Yeah. If you're a male that you've tried different things, you've tried to jumpstart, I just need a different workout routine, or I need a different diet, or I need this, I need that, and nothing is working for you, just go down to one of those 2 locations that Jamie talked about, sit down with their board-certified physicians. They'll go over a couple of questions with you. Very easy. Just tell them how you're feeling. Be honest with them. And then when they draw your blood, if you are low in testosterone like Jamie and I were, when you jump on the program, it doesn't take long before you're back in the gym. It doesn't matter what routine you're on. You're consistent with it now. You have the motivation. You have the drive. You have the energy. All thanks to Mentality figuring out what was really going on the entire time. If you want to check them out online, you can. low2usa.com. A lot of insurance companies already cover the Mentality program, so no sweat there. But again, go visit them. If you're not feeling your best, let Mentality help. Tell them Jamie and Anthony sent you. Busy week in the NFL, busy weekend. Week 11. We do this every single Monday where the four of us will go around and share our game notes, the three things that stood out to us in the previous day in the NFL. Carey Davis has the first go around here. What do you got, Carey?
Oh, yeah, the Chiefs are, I've never seen a team that is so great as they are. They are fantastic. The best team in the NFL.
Okay, stop the sarcasm. They lost. Come on.
Yeah, they did. And it ain't look good. And we kind of felt like it was going to go that way. I did. I know you did as well. You wouldn't say it out loud because you're a Chiefs fan.
I didn't think it. I really did think that they were going to win.
Well, I don't know why. Because the Chiefs
previous 9 games indicated that they would.
Yeah, I'm cool. The Chiefs are who I thought they were.
Is he back to saying cool?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, cool.
No, cool.
All right, I'll yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. It's basically, what Carey's basically trying to say is, shut your mouth.
Yeah.
100%. Every time Carey says cool, just know he's telling you to shut up.
Yep.
Well, no, I don't think that's what that is, but it's cool. You know.
See, there it is.
It's cool.
But, that was the second was at me.
That was it. First one me, second one you.
Yeah,
go ahead, Carey.
so watching them play, again, I told you all going into the week, I felt like if the Bills were able to run man-to-man and eliminate the opportunity for those tight ends, they can't beat you off the ball. They can't beat DBs downfield. They can't stretch the field, except for Xavier Worthy, who is electric. But he's still young and learning how to play the position at this level. Mm-hmm. He's not able to make the catches in bounds that you need him to. He's got to get 2 feet in. There are still things that he has to learn. If he figures that out here in the next month and a half, then maybe they can do something because he is a guy that can stretch the field. But for me, they don't have that playmaker on the offensive side. I think you give Kareem Hunt the ball over and over again, he's going to get yards. I think his longest run was 12 yards, maybe 17 yards. Like he's not a game breaker in that way. So they're not getting those explosive plays that you're accustomed to seeing the Chiefs get. And if you have to 12-play drive, 10-play drive, 8-play drive, over and over, it's hard to do that.
Yeah.
You have to have some of those breakout plays, explosive plays, 20-plus yard plays that allow you to eat chunks up and get closer to the end zone. And right now, this team is unable to do that. And the Bills were better. They played better. They showed more. The best player on the field was Josh Allen, and it showed up at the most critical time when they needed to score a touchdown, or not even get a touchdown. They needed to get a first down, and he went and got them a touchdown. That, to me, was exactly what I thought was going to happen. I actually thought it would be worse than this, but the Chiefs were able to withstand some of the things that took place. But the Bills were the better team yesterday, and to me, it wasn't hard to see that coming.
There was a couple of people talking about this in the Snake Pit, talking about how the Chiefs didn't recognize the fact that Josh Allen was going to run on 4th and 2. Like, how can you not do that?
How do you not know that?
So Josh Allen actually admitted after the game, he said that was improv.
Yeah.
We had a man-to-man. We had a play call that was going to beat man-to-man. And Allen saw post-snap that the Chiefs dropped in the zone. And as soon as he saw that, that's when he decided to run. It was just a great play by Josh Allen. Now, could you have said somebody spy him? You could have, but the Chiefs called what they call, and the Bills called what they called. They called actually a man-beating play. It was supposed to be a pass. Mm-hmm. And Josh Allen, to his credit, and he has played very well against the Chiefs. He really hasn't had a poor performance against the Chiefs, even in losses. He made the play in the end that no other team really has made when they've had their opportunities against the Chiefs this year.
I agree. Very good game by them. My next note is the Cincinnati Bengals are heading towards the next Andrew Luck. Joe Burrow is amazing. They got talent on the outside. They got 2 guys, T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. They have found a running back with Chase Brown. He's able to catch passes out of the backfield. Offensively, they don't lack much in the skill position. They never block for Joe Burrow. He is going to be the next Andrew Luck. He is going to be harmed in his career. he is going to have to retire early if the Cincinnati Bengals do not take an opportunity this offseason to correct the offensive line. It is putrid. Watching him play after play, people in his face, getting hit, even if it's not a sack, the hits and the pressure, all that accumulates. It adds up, and it feels like every time he drops back, Joe Burrow, oh, that was an amazing play. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't have to take all of that. Block the dang on D-line. There were TE stunts, tackle in stunts that they kept running. And the offensive line, it's a rule. If something goes out, something is coming in. It's not a hard rule. If that guy disappears, slow down because somebody's coming back. I watched it 3 or 4 times, and 3 of them were sacks. You're not figuring this out. How and why? How do you not know? If he disappears, slow down because someone is coming back to you. If your guy disappears, turn your eyes inside because there's somebody coming that way. It's simple. But for whatever reason, time and time again, they were unable to figure that out. And Joe Burrow's not going to last long. You paid him a lot of money. He's not going to last long. You're going to have a decision to make. You can't pay Jamar Chase. You can't pay T. Higgins. You got to invest. You can't pay both of them. You're going to pay one of them, going to be Jamar, and you're going to invest in that offensive line, or you're going to waste a generational type quarterback in Joe Burrow.
Yeah,
it was bad. And then my last thing, hey man, the New York Jets need to move on from Aaron Rodgers.
What?
Why?
He's the franchise, Carey.
Yeah.
He's the head coach. He's the general manager.
He's the only one that does it all.
He doesn't do enough. I was looking at a statistic the other day, and they were talking about winning percentages. Zach Wilson, he had 33 starts as a Jet. He has a .364 winning percentage. Sam Darnold, Marshy loves that guy. 38 starts, has a .342 winning percentage. Aaron Rodgers, it's only 12 starts, .273. You're worse as a starting quarterback for the New York Jets than Zach Wilson and Sam Darnold.
With arguably more around you.
With more talent on the offense and defensive side. Make it make sense.
Yeah.
There was no way I thought that they were going to lose that game to the Indianapolis coach yesterday. They were winning for a major part of it. They kept going back and forth, and they were unable to seal the deal. Anthony Richardson just played really well. He's running guys over. Like, it's a problem. But if you're Aaron Rodgers and you're a Hall of Fame quarterback and you 4-time MVP and this is the best you got,
you're done.
A 27% winning percentage as the Jets quarterback, and you got 2 guys that were drafted in the first round, and they're no longer there. Much better winning percentage than you. Give it up, man. I watched an interview. I watched him do a post-game interview. He sounds like a man that's retired. Like once you start talking about, your body or how you're feeling or things not going well, it's time to give it up, man. Just end it. It's over.
There he goes again.
Yeah, well,
he's an older gentleman, Jamie. This game is not for older people. I keep telling y'all. It's amazing.
You mean retire, right?
Yeah, okay. Retire.
I thought something else.
No, just retire.
I saw your face.
Walk away from the game.
I was like, whoa,
It's
I'm
okay.
not the biggest Aaron Rodgers guy, but I don't think
Walk away from the game.
We know that CD's not fond of old people, so we just want to make sure.
Older people in sports.
DJ Patacake says Rodgers does everything but his job.
That's about right.
That's totally accurate this year.
Not wrong.
Not great.
Yeah.
Do they have him for another year?
Yeah.
Yes. Walk away, man. Just move on.
Yeah, but your franchise is screwed.
So
no
what?
matter what. You're done for the next 6 years.
You can find another quarterback in the draft, man. You can go get Joe Flacco back.
It's not a bad idea.
Not a bad idea.
Where's Smitty?
Smitty.
Mike White.
Where is he at?
Yeah.
He's the backup in, Carolina? Or no, not Carolina, because that's Andy Dalton. Was he with the Chargers? Where's Mike? Where's Mike White?
I thought he was on the practice squad of the Dolphins last time I heard.
You can't beat Huntley?
I don't think that's accurate. I think he was there last year. I think he's somewhere different.
I don't think Mike White is on the roster.
Stop.
Oh.
Smitty goes wherever the hell he wants.
Either way.
I think he's with the Bills right now.
He's with the Bills.
Practice squad?
I don't know.
No, he's backup. Come on, guys.
No.
Yeah, he's backup.
Behind Mitch Trubisky.
So he's third string.
Yeah.
Basically the
Mr.
emergency
Trubisky.
guy.
Hey, you never know when you need that guy.
Listen,
Very true.
there's going to be a quarterback available. Justin Fields will be available in the offseason.
He's a running back now.
You know, you can find something.
How about Taysom Hill, though, by the way? Just out of curiosity, did you guys see his
That's
stat
another
line
one.
from yesterday?
Yes,
That's
he was
pretty
insane.
amazing.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I don't know why
he
they
threw
did.
a pass, too. He threw a pass. He ran the ball. He caught, and he punt returned. Like
Everything. That's why you got Taysom Hill. You've been mocking that guy for years.
I have been, but now I'm sitting here thinking to myself, should somebody, go sign this guy?
Yeah, the Saints did.
No, but, I mean,
They gave him a decent
I
contract.
know they did. They gave him a better contract if he actually was under center, but...
Yeah.
He has like 3 good games every year, usually helps somebody win their fantasy football league. And then somebody drafts him. They don't use him for 6-7 weeks.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden he does it again.
They kind of break him out for one game.
Yeah.
Like yesterday was it. He usually torches the Falcons, and who hasn't? And then he's good for like one other game. That was it. That was Taysom Hill. All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Turnovers continue to be a massive problem for the Blues. Defensive turnovers. Well, just turnovers in general. But Jamie's going to tell us how they fix the defensive turnover issue. Yeah, you are. That's next on 101 ESPN.
Jamie Rivers back with you here, joined by my good friend Tracy Bibb from the Bibb Agency. Tracy, holiday season is upon us. Is there anything specific our listeners should be aware of when it comes to the insurance world?
Ooh, yeah, there's all kinds of things that can go wrong with the holiday season. Maybe you've got a ice storm that has hit and it has caused you some problems with an icy driveway that somebody has slipped and fallen on, or maybe you've had an auto accident because of ice, or goodness, maybe you've had somebody come over to your house and they've gotten hurt. You know, a lot of things that people don't think about is your insurance will actually prevent and protect you from lawsuits. So one of the things that's important is making sure you have enough coverage on your home and on your auto policy to cover you from lawsuits, to protect your net worth, because, gosh, I'd rather they take the insurance company than take it from you and your net worth. That is why it's important to have an agent. So give us a call. We can look that stuff over and make sure you have enough coverage.
Yeah, please give Tracy and the Bibb Agency a call. You get a free non-committal quote, maybe discuss your policy. She's going to make sure that she helps you. And again, she's going to make sure that you're covered properly. And for all that, all you have to do is give her a call at 314-328-4260. Again, that number is 314-328-4260. Tracy, thank you so much for everything that you do.
Thanks so much.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Blues lose to the Carolina Hurricanes yesterday, 4-1 the final. They defeated the Boston Bruins the day before in overtime, but they could not win 2 games over the weekend. The Blues will take on the Wild tomorrow. Pregame starts at 6. Puck drop is at 7. And, of course, you can listen to that one right here on 101 ESPN. The Blues did waive Kasperi Kapanen. We just had that conversation. If you missed that conversation or anything from today's show, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the 101 ESPN Schaefer Door Company mobile app. It is free, so go check it out. Just head to the podcast page, and you'll find all of our full shows there, and it's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Tonight, we have Cowboys-Texans Monday Night Football. Pregame starts at 6:30. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center Update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Tonight we have the Cowboys and Texans for you. Pregame starting at 6:30. Tomorrow we'll have the Blues and Wilds matchup. Pregame starting at 6 o'clock right here on 101 ESPN. Jamie will be with us for the first 2 hours of the show before.
I'll be here the whole time.
Oh, that's right. It's a ESPN game tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, Jamie will be here.
Unless you want me to leave at 4.
We do not.
You stay here the whole time, sir.
We do not. We want you to be here with us.
All right.
So, Jamie, you had mentioned the turnovers being a problem yesterday against Carolina. You talked about the fatigue setting in potentially for this Blues team, specifically the Blue Liners who have played a lot of played a lot of ice time of late. But if you're going to kind of break down some of the turnover issues, is it just lack of focus? Is it scheme related? Is it the other teams doing stuff that the Blues just aren't prepared for? I'm not saying it's a bad coaching job or anything. When you're seeing the amount of turnovers that the Blues have had, what tends to be the issue there?
Well, you look at the Bruins game, and they had a pretty good game managing the puck against the Bruins. They did a good job of managing the puck against the Hurricanes until the second period. And then, you had a couple of rough exchanges between goaltender and defenseman, which that does happen from time to time. For me, when I'm watching it, it just comes down to better puck support. When you're watching some of the games, some of the forwards are up too high, and then the player who has the puck, he's trying to make a better play, a bigger, better play, and doesn't necessarily have the time to do it. So either they're up too far or they're allowing themselves to be covered at times. And sometimes you think you're doing a good job as a forward or as another player, like getting open, but you're not.
Yeah.
And I had several coaches along the way, in particular Joel Quenneville, the coach, said, listen, the guys away from the puck have to work harder than the guy with the puck because you have to get open for your teammate. And I understood that then, but then I really understood it when I played with the Red Wings because they put the onus on every other player without the puck to make sure you're available for a pass. Yeah. And that's the one thing I noticed when I got there. I was like, man, this game is easy. Because every time I looked up, there was a guy that was wide open. Open. Here you go. Tape to tape. Here we go. I looked over, my partner, Christian, goes, this is pretty easy. He's like, well, guys, work hard. He goes, now, the same thing for you. He's like, when I get the puck, don't just stand there covered. Get open for me or pull coverage away from somebody else, and then I can find a player. So sometimes I see that guys are ready and available for a puck, and maybe they don't realize that they're not in an optimal spot to get it. They're covered, so that player with the puck now has to hang on to the puck longer, waiting for someone to get open, and it's just kind of like a quarterback who stands in the pocket too long, and the pocket's crashing down on the quarterback, and instead of getting out of the pocket or just getting rid of the ball, you hang on, and you try to make a play at interception.
Right.
Or try to make a play batted down because the player didn't get open on their route or whatever, and the quarterback waited too long to move his feet or to find his way out of it.
Call that the Kirk Cousins.
We'll call it the Kirky Cousins. We'll call it Kirky football maneuver.
That's right.
And it happens in hockey, too. If you watch a play where a winger gets a puck on the wall, if he doesn't move his feet right away, now he's just sitting there waiting to be checked. And then other players are not filling in the empty lanes or whatever. And if they don't, the player with the puck has to realize quickly there's no play. Off the boards and out. Move the puck to a non-dangerous area. So many times we see, I can dangle this guy, or I can make a backhand pass 40 feet across the ice. No, you can't.
Right.
Most of the time, you can't do that. And then it gets picked off, and then you're in your own end for an extended period of time. And specifically yesterday in the second period, you get the long change. So even if you get the puck out to the neutral zone, it's not automatic that you can even get anybody off the ice because it can't get to the bench. So that's why, quick plays, play recognition, everything has to happen fast. And sometimes it's not that the players aren't thinking fast enough or making the plays. Sometimes they are, but sometimes it's a bad pass where a guy gets it in his skates, or he's showing forehand on a pass and you pass to his backhand, and now he's handcuffed and he's got to try and maneuver his way, and then boom, there's another guy in his face, and now there's a turnover.
Right.
Yeah.
And the turnover is not necessarily the recipient's fault. It's actually on the shoulders of the guy who gave him a crap pass. And that happens sometimes. And that happens sometimes when teams establish their forecheck. They get in, their job is to disrupt the play. We talked about forecheck, a week ago.
Right.
The job of the first guy is to get in there and disrupt everything. Well, some teams are good at it too. And therefore you have to have shorter patterns or shorter routes to make your passes. Instead of it being a 20-foot pass, make it a 5-foot pass.
Can the Blues simplify things like you're talking about, Jamie? And I don't want to say like simplify as in, how do I want to put this? Can they kind of get back to the basics and just make the obvious play as opposed to allowing even their own skill set to shine?
Yeah.
I know that's tough because you get against better teams and then that skill set needs to be there, but can they just kind of simplify things?
Yeah, so here's what I think happens sometimes. I think the Blues sometimes overcomplicate it for themselves, and that happens when you're skilled as a player. Because if you look at a guy like Pavel Buchnevich or Braden Shen or any of these guys, Kyrou, they're very skilled hockey players. And the competitive person inside them never feels like, let's just make a simple play. Like, I'm paid good money. I'm here to make real plays.
Yeah.
And I'm capable of making
Real ones.
Real/extraordinary plays. Sometimes they're not there. Or sometimes the best pass is the 3-foot pass to a guy who can now head up the ice and then move it 4 feet to the next guy. It's tough because I do find at certain times, the Blues look for a bigger, better play that may not be available. And therefore, then that's when the panic hits and then the turnover train starts.
Sure.
Because once you turn over the puck once and guys are already they're moving forward up the ice. So when you turn over the puck, now they've got to stop and come all the way back. So then the pressure is on the other guys as turnover of the puck. Great, now you got to play defense or trying to retrieve the loose puck. They've got 3 or 4 guys available on one guy because other guys are up ahead. You should have moved the puck ahead, or they're expecting you to go off the wall, or
Yeah.
I do think there's a simpler way to play, but for me, it comes down to puck support, making sure you can get available for your teammate. And if you're not available, then communicate, yell, off the wall, chip it up. Then the guy knows, okay, he doesn't want it. I don't have to worry about putting it between the guy's legs onto his tape. Not gonna worry. I'm just going to chip it behind the defenseman. He's going to go get it.
Sure.
Is that like a mindset thing, depending on what type of player you are? Like, I feel like some of the top end players on the Blues, they feel like they're doing too much. And, we talked about Schoenemann earlier. Every play that I've seen, every pass that he's made has been the simple play because he's at a spot where he can't afford to do things like that.
No, he's looking for the first play available, and he's moving the puck because he's terrified that if he tries to overcomplicate it, he's out of the lineup.
So does that basically come down to like a mindset of like the player and where they're at in terms of playing in the lineup and their comfortability of staying in the lineup?
Yeah, of course. Some guys know they're not coming out of the lineup. I mean, it's just obvious because you need those players to win. And I'm not suggesting that these players stop being creative at all. I'm just saying that when the play isn't there, don't try to make it. It's like a quarterback that's super talented. Pick the greatest quarterback that you think of all time. Doesn't matter who it is.
Mahomes.
Okay, Mahomes.
Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins.
No, it's not right. That is not
When
right.
you need, instead of throwing the ball downfield, when you really need it, you just check it down.
Oh, actually, not
Just
a bad
check
idea.
it down.
Not a bad idea.
Safe throw.
Yeah.
Safe throw.
Unless it's 4th and 15.
You throw it 6 yards, you got to
True.
go get the rest. Go get 12.
Anthony, yak exists.
It does.
It does. It's on the player then at that point, Marshy.
Yep.
You're right.
I
It's
gave
all
it
the
to
player's
you.
fault.
Now you figure it out.
So back on track is instead of, I'm not trying to take away the creativity, but instead of a quarterback trying to pass into triple coverage because he thinks he can do it or he thinks that he can get it or he's competitive and I can do this, pass to the guy who's open. He may not be the best option, but it is
The one in front of you.
well, that's right. So it's a very loose comparison.
Yeah.
But when the Blues do play simple hockey, when they support the puck, when they're 5-6 feet away from each other, 10 feet maximum, and they're moving the puck tape to tape and advancing it up the ice, like the Boston game. Like the Blues were, in essence, all over the Bruins. The Bruins only had 19 shots on goal the whole game. And the Blues looked like they were connected. They were playing very well, playing fast. And so to me, it's just a bit of a mindset of less is more sometimes.
Yeah. Gotcha. All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. We do have the Gauntlet coming up in about 15 minutes, but coming up next, we've got Andrew Marsh's Week 11 NFL game notes next.
Elevate your performance with my friends over at Pure Performance. They are your one-stop shop when it comes to all aftermarket accessories. And if you're driving around any vehicle, for that matter, pickup truck, a car, a Jeep, a Bronco, minivans, it doesn't matter. There are accessories available to you at Pure Performance. And you can get the lift kit, the leveling kits, the light kits, the running boards, all of those things, the oversized tires and wheels. Pure Performance carries all of that, but they also carry things that can help you in the workplace as well. They have cargo carriers and other accessories where you can tack on more to your vehicle. They've got the liquid transfer tanks as well as toolboxes that fit inside of the back of your pickup truck. All of those things can be found inside of their 25,000 square foot facility. They're located right in St. Peter's, right off of Highway 70. It's easy to find them. When you do go in there, please ask for Shelby or Caleb. Tell them Jamie Rivers sent you in. They love hearing that. And then they're going to ask you whether it's just accessorizing it for looks or accessorizing it for your company, your business, or your work, or whatever it is that you're looking to do. They will point you in the right direction. And the technicians, they do an amazing job, and you'll absolutely love your vehicle when all is said and done. So again, please stop by the showroom or at least visit them online at pureperformance.com. That's pure, P-U-R, performance.com.
Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Carey Davis gave us his Week 11 game notes, and now it's time for Andrew Marsh's Week 11 game notes. Marshy, go for it.
Guys, the Chicago Bears got screwed over yesterday.
By their own head coach?
No, well, maybe. That blocked kick at the end of the game.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have been a blocked kick.
Tell Bobby to stand up, okay?
Well, if I'm not mistaken, I don't think you're allowed to barrel over the center while his head's down.
You can't touch the center.
You can't touch the center while his head's down.
There you go. Flag on the play. Bears re-kick, probably make the field goal. Maybe not. We've seen before that they've missed it.
Was his head still down, though? Because it looked like he picked it up a little bit to me.
He got rolled over.
Well,
Basically by two guys, I think.
be better.
The
agree,
refs,
Carey.
I agree. They should do their jobs.
Yeah, everybody, be better.
Be a little stronger on your feet.
I don't disagree.
The Bears are in a tough spot right now. They're looking for a win, and they had their opportunity yesterday, and they just got screwed over.
They had their window.
They had their window.
Yeah, I don't know why you didn't run the ball when you still had the chance to maybe pick up a couple of more yards, but that's just me. Maybe it's a blocked field goal no matter what. Maybe the Packers still take advantage of the refs not paying attention. I don't know. But bottom line is, that's a Bears-type loss.
It totally is.
What'd you think of Caleb Williams, though?
I thought he looked better under new offense coordinator Thomas Brown. I don't think he made a ton of adjustments.
Tommy
did.
Brown.
Is that
Old
Charlie's
Tommy
brother?
Downtown Tommy
Nope.
Brown.
Yeah. Old Thomas Brown. You former running back of Georgia. Do you remember him from back in the day? I think he was like a late round draft pick of the Falcons.
Really?
Yeah.
Didn't ring a bell.
Anyway, I think they looked better. I think they looked much better. I still think they look like the Bears, though, in key moments.
I would say so.
That was big for Williams to get in the field
Great
goal
pass
range, though.
to Roma
There was a
Dunze.
couple that he made.
That was a
were
great off-the-back
excellent.
shoulder there. That
Yes.
was nice.
Yeah.
And they said that he stood up in front of his teammates after the OC got fired and took accountability.
Excellent.
Like he said, this is on me as well. I haven't played well enough, and unfortunately, it cost the man his job. I got to be better. And I think you saw that yesterday. You saw him on time, not holding onto the ball. Again, when you're a younger quarterback, it's a difference between college football and NFL football. Normally, those guys are so wide open, you have time to wait. In the NFL, you got to get the ball out. And he was decisive. If it wasn't there, he took off and ran. You didn't see him holding onto the ball, waiting for people to get open, which he has done in the past games.
Yep.
Flip side of things, thoughts on the Packers?
Yeah, they're one of those teams where I know you're good, but there have been moments where I have questioned just how good. The Lions loss, for example, where the Lions were completely the better team. Okay, no shame in losing to Detroit, especially in the middle of kind of a rainstorm there, but you had no shot. And then there was another game where they maybe it was a Jaguar game where they could have easily lost in the fourth quarter. I don't think they've been overly impressive of late. I thought they were a better team early on, but that also may have just been, hey, you know what? You look pretty good because you got Malik Willis in there. Like, look at the job that Matt LaFleur has done. The Packers are kind of in the same mix as some of these other teams, the Vikings, the Chargers. Like, you're pretty good.
Are you, though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's depending on the week. So that's kind of where I'm at the Packers.
My second game note is the AFC West the best division in the NFL? We talked about the NFC North for a while, and then we just touched on the Bears and Packers, maybe slipping a little bit. But you have the Chargers, who beat the Bengals last night on Sunday Night Football. You have the Broncos, who beat your Falcons yesterday. But they've also looked good.
Correction.
Could have beat the Chiefs.
Correction. The Broncos
Destroyed
the Falcons.
Wow. They did.
They did. And then obviously you have the Chiefs. So you have three teams that are in a playoff spot right now in the AFC.
Shame on you.
From the AFC West. I won't mention the other team that's in that division, but do you believe that the AFC West is the best team in the NFL? The best division in the NFL.
Shame on you, Marshy.
The AFC North?
I think he wants you to say his AFC North.
No.
Oh, whoa.
No. The NFC North. You got three teams in the playoffs right now as well.
They do.
One of them probably the best team in football.
Yeah, baby.
Your Vikings are in that division. You did that on purpose? You didn't want to mention your Vikings?
It's a question.
Nah. NFC North. Best
that's
division.
fine with me.
What did you say, the AFC West?
AFC West.
Well, Carey's right, because the Lions, Vikings, Packers, their winning percentage are 900, 800, 700. And in the AFC West, the Chiefs are at 900, 700 for the Chargers, and 545 for the Broncos.
Broncos are good. They're still young.
It's just numbers, they're there.
They got, and the Chargers actually showed me something now. Justin Herbert played outstanding for 3 quarters. Fourth quarter, he forgot how to complete passes for a little while there.
He handed it off to the right guy at the end.
Yeah, that's all that matters. He did. Because Jim Harbaugh said, okay, yeah, right, I got to get you.
He made some dime
He
throws
made,
to
for
Lad
3
McConkey.
quarters.
That last,
he made
the last
one
drive, he made 2 dime
and he
throws.
threw a couple over his head.
Okay, you're going to have some.
I'm just telling you. You should.
Justin
He does
Herbert.
not like
Justin
Herbert. I don't.
No.
Actually, I watched last night. I liked him more than I have liked him in the past.
That's nice.
The first 3 quarters. Even the commentators, he can't miss that throw. That's an NFL quarterback. You shouldn't miss that throw. No.
Okay.
Like there are things you should be able to do in certain times.
Fair.
And with all due respect, that means I can say whatever I want. So
It's in the same breath as
Geneva Convention.
I don't want to be disrespectful,
yeah.
but I'm about to disrespect you. All right.
No, they played well. I think the Chiefs are really good. The Chargers are much better than I thought. The Broncos, I'm not ready to say. I know they beat the hell out of the Falcons.
Correction.
I don't know. I said beat the hell out of them.
Destroyed.
Okay, they destroyed the Falcons, which I don't think the Falcons knew what time the game started or where they were playing.
Jobu's jockstrap asked if they played yesterday. I said no.
No. But I think the NFC North. That's my opinion. They are the best division in football.
Yeah, I still lean there, but I understand why you asked the question, Marsh.
My third game note is, what is the point of replay assistance?
Oh, which one are we going with?
What did I
Literally
miss?
pick one.
Which
Literally
one?
pick one. Because sometimes you have replay assistants that will say, well, this isn't a catch. And then sometimes you don't, and the coach then has to throw a red challenge flag. What are we doing here?
I think if it's obvious, then replay assistants will jump in so that the coaches don't have to throw a flag. But if it's one of those gray areas where, we got to take a better look at, like, I think when it's completely obvious, like the guy is on the ground and the ball comes out. All right, we don't need to challenge that. Like, I think T. Higgins had one of those last night where he was on the ground, elbow hit the ground, ball popped out, the Chargers took it. And they came back and said nobody challenged that. They didn't have the Bengals didn't have to challenge that play. Replay assistant said, oh yeah, his elbow was down, still Bengals ball, let's continue.
But wouldn't that only be because you replay on scoring plays and because he took it back to the house that you would have to
turnovers.
replay on turnovers?
But I don't
it's
know.
automatic on turnovers.
I don't remember if but it happened.
They may have gotten a quick one because they ruled it a turnover.
Maybe.
But still, there have been, and this isn't just from this past week. This has been all season long, where I've seen certain plays, and it's like, oh wow, that's really close. Oh no, replay assistance, no first down. You're like, well, what? Or even on a first down where it's very close, it's like, well, replay assistance, we got it. Like first down or no first down. It's like, well, what happened to the challenge flag? Like there seems to be no consistency.
Yeah, I understand that aspect of it. I almost wish they get rid of the challenge flag and just do the replay assistance. I mean, quick.
Like put a ref up in the booth.
Yeah, real quick.
They already have one as a commentator.
Yep. Yeah, just kind of, all right, slow down here for a second. Real quick. Got to make the decision within 30 seconds. Boom. But I don't know if we'll ever get that. All right, we've got the Gauntlet next. That was Andrew Marsh's game notes for Week 11. Jamie and I have got ours coming up in a little bit, but we got the Gauntlet next in the Fast Lane.
categories, one challenger. Can you survive the Gauntlet?
Brought to you by Blue Note Roofing. Roofing, siding, and gutters. Visit BlueNoteRoofingSTL.com for a free inspection.
404, your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. Time for the Gauntlet. We got Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, Andrew Marsh, I'm Anthony Stalter, and we welcome in Joe. What's up, Joe?
Oh, not a whole lot. How are you guys?
We're doing great. Appreciate you listening. Thanks for playing today. Joe, you heard the options for you. Marsh, CD, Jamie, me. Who would you like to take on?
Nobody ever takes on Jamie. Let me take on Jamie, and I'll hope for hockey.
All right. Jamie and hockey. Wow. All right.
All right, Joe. Good luck, man.
I'll need it.
You never know. All right, so Jamie's going to make his way into the cone of silence right now. Joe, go ahead and tell Marsh to spin that wheel.
Marshy, spin that wheel.
So you did ask for hockey. Is there
that's what I get.
Yeah, right. Is there a category? Is there a category you don't want?
Oh, I don't care.
Okay. I think Joe understands how this game is played.
Yeah, I think Joe knows.
You say what you want in hopes you don't get that. And he got football.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. How do you feel about football?
I'd have been better 7 years ago for the Rams stuff, but that's okay.
All right. Well, hey, we'll see how it goes here. Joe, as you know, you get 4 questions all related to football. Jamie's going to get the same 4 questions. Each question is worth 2 points unless you ask for the options. If you ask for the options, those questions become worth 1 point. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Question number 1. Who won the first Monday Night Football game of the season? Who won the first Monday Night Football game of the season?
This season?
This season.
Kansas City Chiefs.
Final answer?
Yeah, why not?
Question number 2. 8 different quarterbacks in NFL history hold the record for most passing touchdowns in a single game, which is 7. The last to do it was which quarterback who passed for 7 touchdowns in 2015 against the Giants?
Give me the options.
Is it Peyton Manning, Ben Roethlisberger, or Drew Brees?
I'll go Drew Brees.
Final answer?
Final answer.
Question number 3. Which defense leads the league this season in sacks?
Wow. Give me the options.
Options are the New York Giants, the Pittsburgh Steelers, or the Denver Broncos.
What was the first? Was the first one the Giants?
I'll just read all of them once again. The New York Giants, the Pittsburgh Steelers, or the Denver Broncos.
Let's go with the New York Giants.
Final answer?
Final answer.
All right, Joe, final question for you. Give the last year the St. Louis Rams led the league in points scored. Note, this excludes their seasons in Los Angeles. So give the year the St. Louis Rams led the league in points scored.
2002. Final answer.
All right. Let's bring back Jamie. Joe, how you feeling?
Oh, not good at all, but that's okay.
All right, well, hey, we'll see what happens. You seem like you're just relaxed, happy to be here.
I am. Got a beer in my hand. It's all good.
Oh, what are we drinking?
Do what?
What are we drinking?
I got a black lager from Silver Life Brewing.
Okay, there you go.
That's good.
All right. Yes, Jamie, you can plug your ears back in there.
Did I hear Joe's having a cocktail?
Joe's having a beer right now. He seems relaxed. Nice. He's ready to go. And yeah.
I'm going to feel bad beating Joe now.
Wow.
I refuse to believe that.
Well, Jamie, your category today is football.
Oh, Carey, I love football.
I know you do. I know.
Carey?
Pack a lunch.
Question 1.
Okay.
Who won the first Monday Night Football game of the season?
Kansas City Chiefs. Final answer.
Question number 2. 8 8 different quarterbacks.
Eat it.
Eat. Yeah. 8 different quarterbacks in NFL history hold the record for most passing touchdowns in a single game, which is 7. The last to do it was which quarterback who passed for 7 touchdowns in 2015 against the Giants?
2015 against the Giants. Well, for time purposes, I'll narrow it down here with the options, please.
Peyton Manning, Ben Roethlisberger, or Drew Brees?
Oh, boy. Peyton Manning in 2015. I'll go Drew Brees. Final answer.
Question number 3. Which defense leads the league this season in sacks?
This is going to be part of my game notes, actually, later. I'll go Denver Broncos. Final answer, please.
See where your game notes are going. All right, Jamie, give the last year the St. Louis Rams led the league in points scored. So this excludes their L.A. seasons.
Okay.
It's just the St. Louis Rams.
Well, they're the greatest show on turf in, what, like 99, 2000? 2001, the Patriots won the Super Bowl, but the Rams were a friggin' powerhouse. Forget the option. I think I'm going to get 99, 2000, 2001. I'll go with the year 2000. Final answer.
All right. Let's go over these.
Oof.
Who won the first Monday Night Football game of the season? Jamie, without the options, you went with the Kansas City Chiefs. Joe, without the options, you went with the Kansas City Chiefs.
Joey.
Correct answer is
The San Francisco 49ers.
San Francisco 49ers.
That was a Thursday night game.
Yeah, Kansas City won on Thursday night against the Ravens.
Well, I knew it was the night that ended in Y.
You were right
me
about
too.
that. Yeah. No, the 49ers won over the stinking New York Jets, 32-19. So we got a 0-0 tie between Joe and Jamie. 8 different quarterbacks in NFL history hold the record for most passing touchdowns in a single game, which is 7. The last to do it was which quarterback who passed for 7 touchdowns in 2015 against the Giants? Joe, you said Drew Brees. Jamie, you said Drew Brees. Correct answer is...
It is Drew Brees.
Both of you needed the options. 1-1 tie. Which defense leads the league this season in sacks? Joe, with the options, you went with the New York Football Giants. Jamie, without the options, because you want to bury my Falcons, and rightfully so, you went with the Denver Broncos. Correct answer is...
It is the Denver Broncos.
And Jamie did so without the options, so he's now got a 3-1 lead.
Giants are second.
I didn't have any game notes.
Giants are second. The Broncos have 39, Giants 36. So, Joe, you weren't too far off
He's
there.
right there.
It comes down to this. Give the last year, the St. Louis Rams led the league in points scored. Neither of you took the options.
Oh, no, I don't like that.
Jamie, you went 2000.
I did.
Joe, you went 2002.
So it's 2001, right?
If it's 2002, we've got a walk-off. If it's any other year, Jamie's going to win. Joe.
You have chosen poorly.
You lose.
Joe, if you went with 2001, you would have been correct. That was 2001.
That was my
so
first thought, too.
He got you. Jamie got you 3-1. Virtually that game notes segment that's coming up helped Jamie on this one, but he did have the correct answer on the Broncos. So again, Jamie wins 3-1 today. Sorry, Joe.
Hey, no problem. It's always a pleasure and fun to listen.
Good job.
We appreciate it, Joe. Thanks, man. Thanks for listening.
Go
Thanks
have
for
another
playing.
beer just for us, buddy.
Yeah.
Hey, gotcha.
See you, buddy.
Thanks, guys.
Thank
Bye.
you. All right, that was Joe. Joe, super nice guy.
I'm surprised Marshy didn't crush it.
Yeah, super nice guy. But Jamie, congrats, man. Nice job.
My gut feeling, too, was I said 2001. I mean, man, they were a powerhouse, but I staltered it. I talked myself out of it. I did.
No, you did. Yeah.
Does
Total
staltering
Stalter
it, does that have two different meanings
Yes. Oh, yeah. It's a double entendre.
Yeah.
Yes. You can stalter it, which is just making things up, or you can stalter it, which is going against what you actually thought the first time.
Yes.
Is that a verb? Is that how that works?
Jamie's creating one.
If you check the, what's that, the Urban Dictionary?
No, not that one.
Staltering.
I think it's
Check
just
it out.
The dictionary.
the
Webster?
dictionary.
No,
Webster's.
check it out, guys. It's fine.
Actually, it could be in.
might be
Yeah,
in
it
the
could be an
Urban
urban dictionary.
Staltering.
Yeah.
If not, we'll add it.
Yeah, it's a verb, a noun,
Yeah.
an
Whatever you need it to
adjective.
be.
Covers, well, at least two distinct things, says Jamie. Yeah.
true.
All right, Jamie wins the gauntlet today over Joe. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. So college football. Did you what do you got?
Oh no, I was just again
With the thing.
Yeah, every
you
now
did
and
that.
then.
You
I
did
know.
that this way, where you're looking at me like I've got one more thing before you go.
No,
Before you
that
tease.
politician look to
Yeah,
him.
no
Yeah, I
kidding.
saw that.
That's this. You
Yes.
don't. You never.
Or, no, you can.
No,
do,
you don't point. You,
Oh, I
you
seen them
gotta.
do it before.
Nah, you gotta give them the stern.
when they're expressing their point, they'll go like this, and then they'll back it up with the thumb because
Yeah.
it's like I'm telling you about the economy.
Yeah.
I'm
Right.
gonna make it better with a thumb.
You're like, well, he's giving me the thumbs up, so I must
Yeah.
believe him.
Must be telling the truth.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever, as a
they?
kid, just randomly put your arm up if you're like laying down and you just kind of like had your arm up?
Like
Is that when you get
periscope
morning
up.
grip?
No, it's not morning grip.
If you had morning grip, you want to put your hand down.
Well, okay. Yeah.
Well, circulation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Flows
Where the blood
better.
flow is,
Okay.
Carey.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
Get it
you
going.
want to make sure you find the blood flow.
For those that don't know, Marshy at one point discussed morning grip and what that's all about.
It's when you
Not what
wake
you
up
think.
and you don't have a strong grip, you know?
And you can't feel your hand.
I mean, you can feel it, you just can't grab things, you know?
Oh, I thought that's where you couldn't feel your hand, but you could grab. That must be called
like,
something different.
It's just when you feel weak in your hand, and so when you grab something,
Carey,
maybe it
what do you
slips
call the
out.
other one?
Maybe it slips out.
So I just saw that Tom Herman was fired by FAU. Boy, what a fall from grace for Tom Herman.
Oh, Tommy.
We'll get into more important college football notes next, though.
Didn't have a good grip on that
No,
organization.
we did not. That program. One of the teams that we picked to be on upset watch got upset. How much do things change?
Pump your own tires, Anthony.
Yeah.
With the
Good
BYU
job.
loss
Good
next
job.
on 101 ESPN. You know what? I'll just say exactly what I just told Marsh and Jamie here in the break. There's not one team in college football that's very impressive.
Well, yeah, okay, so I understand.
Given the circumstances.
I understand what you're saying. I will push back a little bit, though, is some of the teams that have not been impressive at times
have been impressive.
And they're starting to show, like Georgia. Like all of a sudden, Georgia's back in the conversation, and I'm like,
this week,
and Alabama too. Like they're 8-2. Like all of these things are going to come crashing into each other at some point.
I don't typically bring up the refs involving, you know, but Tennessee got screwed this week.
Oh, come on.
Screwed.
Do you believe that, or are you just playing into it?
I saw a thread that highlighted 8 different instances where a call was not made or it was made and it should not have been or should have.
Did you watch the game though, Marshy?
I did.
Or are you just investigating through like internet threads that
I watched
somebody in their basement cooked up?
It was a tight game. Now
Really?
Tennessee, it was a tight game.
Really?
It was.
Tennessee jumped out and then Georgia came back. Tennessee then took the lead. Georgia came back and they ended up winning.
Tennessee didn't score in the second half, though, either. Like
they deserve to lose. They deserve to lose. I'm just,
the referees didn't stop them from doing that.
I'm being a goofball.
You're highlighting some things, Marsh. I appreciate it. Gator, how about them Gators? Yeah, they looked very impressive against LSU. At times this year, Gator, you also know, I don't have to tell you this, they have not been in that impressive.
They've been all over the place.
That's kind of the theme, right? It's kind of the theme in college football. Even if you were to start off with the earlier games, Oregon, that was a late game, so hold on. Texas wasn't overly dominant against Arkansas. Did I ever think the Longhorns are going to lose? No, because there are times Arkansas couldn't move the ball at all. But Texas wasn't overly impressive against Arkansas.
No, the 20-10 victory. That's not impressive at all.
They needed a big play in the end just to kind of win by 10. Ohio State against Northwestern, 31-7. This Northwestern stinks. This isn't your dad's Northwestern team. You don't want Darnell Autry.
When I was trying to go there, I turned down Michigan. That was Northwestern.
If you move into the midday game, the midday games, Clemson and Pittsburgh. I can't remember now what the score. Clemson wasn't overly impressive. Louisville literally lost to Stanford as the number 19. South Carolina got
did you
everything it could get from Mizzou before Mizzou cracked there on that pitch.
That Stanford last drive by Louisville might be one of the worst drives I've seen in football.
Wow.
Yeah.
Stanford going in.
Well, Louisville trying to score.
Yeah.
And giving Stanford the ball back. That was terrible. Yeah,
almost as terrible as the 49ers allowing the Seahawks and Geno Smith to do whatever they want.
Or almost as terrible as not tackling the guy that is running on the shovel pass into the end zone. That was bad, man.
Wow.
You go down and score. Luther made a highlight reel catch. And less than a minute left?
Yes.
You let South Carolina just drive right back down the field and shovel pass it in from the 15-yard line. Oh, yeah, that was bad.
This wasn't from
tackle, man.
This wasn't from the 3 and at Mahomes and Kelsey. Like, this was from the 15.
Mega tackle, man.
That was bad. Anyways, my point is, yes, in a given week, a team could look impressive. Like Ole Miss last week against Georgia, very impressive. There are times where Ole Miss has not looked good at all. Yeah. This week, I don't think anybody really stood out. Do you guys?
No, I mean,
maybe Colorado.
Colorado,
maybe, right?
But Colorado,
I still don't know what to make of them.
They're going to score a lot. I told you they was going to be over.
You
points.
did. You're
because
right.
Colorado scores a lot of points. They allow teams to be in the games for long enough to where they got to put them away at the end. Like they can score in bunches. Shedeur Sanders is one of the best quarterbacks in my opinion. Will be a top 5 draft pick depending on who's taking him because I don't think Deion's going to let him go everywhere. But he's done a great job. Travis Hunter's done a great job.
What a sick play he made.
He is a freak athlete, man.
Okay, so can we pause on Travis Hunter just for a second, please? Mm-hmm. I want to ask both of you. Carey, you first. Like, this guy's obviously going to the NFL. Mm-hmm. What position is he playing in the NFL?
So I think
is he good enough as a wide receiver?
I think he's going to do both.
I think he's a corner that's going to play some wide receiver.
I think he's going to do both.
That's wild.
I don't think he's going to play both every time like he's doing at Colorado. I think he's going to be a corner that plays wide receiver.
I think he'll be able to do. I think he will be able to, and probably some punt returns.
What is he better at?
That's the $1 million question.
Like, because when the game's on the line for whatever NFL team picks him, are they lining him up at wide receiver or is he lining him up at cornerback?
Well, if the game's on the line, it's both.
Yeah.
Well, maybe.
That's the $1 million question for me. I honestly think I think he's more valuable at receiver because he can do both. I mean, because he can do that at such a high level. You make more impact plays at the receiver position than you do at the corner position because if they don't
tell
want to,
Deion Sanders that.
No, well, even with Deion, they don't have to throw it your way. If you're that good,
you're right.
You're eliminated.
They can avoid you.
They'll avoid you. Like they can eliminate you. But if you're and offensively, the defense can try to eliminate you. I mean, Jamar Chase was double covered pretty much all night last night, except for the one time where he was wide open and Joe Burrow had a million people in his face and couldn't. Yeah, whatever. But it just drives me crazy. He's too good to keep getting hit like that.
I agree.
But I think Travis will play. I think he's going to do both, and I think he's going to eventually be paid kind of like Shohei Ohtani as both.
Yeah, I think it's just wild because Shohei Ohtani is that guy, and like what other players in recent history, not Bo Jackson or Deion Sanders were double sports, but like playing in their sport are playing both ways, first of all.
Champ Bailey did it a little bit.
Yeah, and that was early 2000s.
No, not like this.
Not to,
That's what I'm saying. He did it. Nobody has done it to this level.
That's wild to me.
Yeah, nobody
in Colorado
has done it.
too. You think about the games being played in Colorado and the altitude and all that, and he's playing both ways. No, Jamie, there has not been even. Like, Deion could do it, but he didn't play wide receiver a lot at Florida
not a
State.
lot. He punt return, kick return, obviously, and cornerback. But it's impressive to see what he's doing, and he's doing it at a high level in both spots.
Yes. Either way, I think he winds up being a corner and they use him at wide receiver. Maybe I'm wrong and Carey's right and you wind up using him more as a receiver. But to me, it's like I think you can
whatever you need.
Yeah,
he's able to do both.
Assuming he can grasp the playbook on both sides. I mean, that would be the biggest thing.
He's obviously doing that.
He's one of the smartest players.
Absolutely,
he's actually doing that because he's playing on the offensive side. I don't think the offensive playbook is that of a kindergarten level at Colorado. I think it's probably pretty good.
Yeah, I'm just saying at the NFL,
especially when you have Shadur Sanders, like you're going to have a playbook.
Sure. It just depends on the team, really, in the NFL. I think some teams make things more complicated than others. So,
that's where he's got to get to the right team, too.
Yep, very true. Like, if Belichick comes back, Belichick's defenses, there's not just cover four. It's like 487 versions of cover four, and they may run a play in week one that they that they don't use the rest of the year, and then do it again in the playoffs. You better know it.
Yeah,
like that's Belichick.
Troy Brown is another one. When you said Belichick, it made me think of him.
Troy Brown did it. Corner. Yeah. Did they have another corner too? Or was it only Troy Brown that did that?
I don't remember. I know he played corner. He was lined up number 80 at corner. It was disgusting.
Yeah, it really was. I hate that.
The text line saying Roy Green as well, the big red machine.
Oh, I remember Roy Green, but I don't remember him playing much offense.
Yeah. And Jamie was really asking, like, lately, I think.
True, yeah. More so recently.
More so, yeah. All right, we've got the Sports Six-Pack coming up, 314-399-9646, the Air Comfort Service text line. If you've got a question for us, send it in, and we'll answer it. Part one of the Sports Six-Pack next on 101 ESPN.
Are you looking for somewhere to go grab a bite to eat? The workday is over. You're tired. You don't want to cook. Head over to Twin Peaks. They have an amazing menu over there located in Maplewood. And whatever it is that you're looking for, whether it's a burger, a flatbread pizza, they've got great tacos, the wings, they've got soup, salads on the healthy side. They've got a great little appetizer menu as well. The Twin Peaks Sampler with the fried pickles. Oh, those are so good. The buffalo tenders and the mozzarella bites. You can dip those in the ranch dressing. You're gonna absolutely love it. Tonight, they'll have the football game on, too, so kick your feet up, relax, order one of those 29-degree man-sized drafts. Enjoy the football game. Enjoy the company that you have there. The staff is amazing. They like to have fun. They laugh, joke, and they'll also help you out with menu choices or drink choices because they've got a wide variety of bourbons. They've got great flavored vodkas. They've got the Pink Whitney there behind the bar. So if you're looking for something different, please ask the staff. They're going to point you in the right direction. All of that happening over at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Blues lost to the Carolina Hurricanes last night by a final score of 4-1. They'll take on the Wild tomorrow, and you can listen to that one right here on 101 ESPN. Pregame starts at 6. Puck drop is around 7. The Blues also waived Kapanen earlier today. If you missed that conversation, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free 101 ESPN Schaefer Door Company mobile app. It is free, so go download it. Just head to the podcast page, and you'll find all of our interviews and full shows there, and it's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Tonight, we have Cowboys-Texans Monday Night Football. Pregame starts at 6:30, and coming up next, we have our Sports Six-Pack. So get your questions in, to the Air Comfort Service text line 314-399-9646. We'll do the six-pack next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six-Pack is brought to you by Paramount Men's Medical Center. Suffering from ED or PE? Your first treatment is free at ParamountMen'sMedical.com.
What just happened?
How did he know that?
Were you there? I am seriously amazed right now.
Let everybody in.
Well, Marsh just asked, what are your thoughts on soccer teams wearing all black uniforms playing dark, a team that's wearing like a dark blue. Yeah. And I'm like, I was going to say, that happened to Killian's team on Saturday night. Drove me crazy. So now I'm like, was Marsh there? Did he hear when I...
Did neighbor Dave text
when I said that? No, I mean, neighbor Dave wasn't there.
Kristen had something on Instagram.
Yeah. Was Killian playing?
Yeah. I saw it, and I was going to bring it up to you
Did
today.
you think that?
Did I think what?
Did you think like while they're playing, or did she like
no,
write something about
it was like a video.
Yeah.
Like combination of
did you hear me saying it?
No, like
He just watched the video.
I watched the video.
You had the same thought?
Well, yeah, I'm like, where? Because at first I'm like, where's the other team at?
Yeah. It drove me crazy.
And then like it kept going.
I didn't know if like maybe I said it in the video.
No, I saw it. I was like, why are they wearing black?
Yeah.
Two teams wearing black jerseys until like the very end when I saw, okay, this is a dark blue jersey, but it's still like it made no sense.
It drove me insane. Like, and I don't know what you do about it because it's not like you can color like when we're doing flag football, you can like we're the Falcons, we wear black. If we play another team that is black, they can flip the uniform so that it's a color.
It's like a reversible.
Yeah, it's a reversible jersey, but in soccer they don't. So, anyways, you're blowing my mind because I was literally complaining about that on Saturday night.
Because when my daughter played like rec soccer and then indoor soccer, each team before the season or that part of the season starts has to declare what color they're wearing.
Mm-hmm. You're supposed to,
in order to avoid, because at that level, rec level, you're not asking people to buy 2 or 3 different kits or uniforms, you know. So if like my daughter's team was, they had green one year, and nobody else could wear green.
Okay,
they could be black or white or red or like you just pick a primary color and that's your team to avoid the black and dark blue.
Yeah, right. Well, it gets confusing. I mean, these kids are in first grade. They're you know, especially when you're the goalie, you're trying to pass the thing out. It's like, oh,
he's not on
my team.
Well, even scrambling.
Oh, yeah.
Kicking over to little Joey. It's not little Joey.
It's not little Joey. It's little Tommy who's about to bury you.
Your face when you heard me say that.
Like, oh, crap. Get out of my head, Marsh. I had the same
Was that
exact
the
thought.
number one question or not?
Yeah, right. Yeah, go ahead.
Was it?
No, it was just, I don't know. It was a question before the way we started.
The way you looked at me, I thought for sure you knew I was complaining about this
Where
on
was
Saturday
the game?
night.
Was it like one of those?
It was like indoor.
So Marshy could have theoretically. He lives in your area too.
I do. I live right down the road.
I look up and it's Marshy.
What are they doing?
Having a beer. Just enjoying.
Hey, we got a game after.
I just like these kids. They play so hard.
It's following Killian's career.
I missed his birthday the other, or no, whose birthday was it? It was Lincoln's birthday, yeah. Well, I wanted to help
we weren't invited to the party.
Yeah, none of us were invited to the party, actually.
You know, we opened up things.
But we did see that there was a party. Kristen posted pictures on Instagram. There was a party.
We keep it family.
Big old group picture. Everybody's smiling. Hey, Anthony.
Where's Uncle Jamie and Uncle Carey and Uncle Marshy?
Not here.
Wow.
Weren't invited, kids.
Well,
we
here's
didn't
the
have
deal
the opportunity to say no.
We typically open it up to, you know, the bigger kids about 6. So at 6, all hands on deck. All right. Maybe we'll go to a nice bounce you or something. You guys be bouncing around out there.
Yeah. Like in a pool party.
There we go. Be at Uncle Jamie's.
There we go.
New house.
Yeah, but Mommy and Daddy aren't invited.
What the? The kids are cooler than us, so I don't blame you. All right. Question 1, please.
Question number 1.
I said pleads.
You did.
Pleads
I
pants.
was the one to overlook it.
Yeah, no, I'm going to call myself out.
All right, from the 618, will the Blues dress 11 forwards and 7 defensemen over the next few games?
Well, they better go find a defenseman at a gas station somewhere.
They got one right here.
Right. Drew Bannish asked me the other day, you got any game left in you? No.
Sign up. See? Now, why not? Why not, Jamie?
Because it's a couple of reasons, Carey.
Okay, do tell.
One,
Trying to get you to say something.
No. One, it's obvious that I wouldn't be able to play the way they do today.
Why?
But I also get frustrated and become extremely violent.
Well, they need a little bit of that.
I'm sure you can turn the puck over in your own zone.
You can definitely do that.
No, you know what? I don't think I can.
That was rough, even for this show.
I'm sorry.
I don't think I can because I'd be smart enough to get it out into the neutral zone.
Oh,
man, tough crowd here.
Tough but fair.
The Blues are not going to go 11-7. They don't even have 7 defensemen right now. They called up Corey Schooneman to play 16 minutes in a game because they didn't have another defenseman. So I don't know if P.O. Joseph is feeling better. I don't get that indication that he is. I don't get the indication Nick Leddy's on the mend anytime soon, or Philip Broberg, or Torrey Krug for that matter. So I don't see 11-7. I don't know how that would become an advantage right now. Just don't see it.
Tell Bandy to call me.
Call Carey Davis.
He's ready.
He's ready to go.
Ready for the opportunity, Coach.
Put me in, Coach.
I feel bad. I feel bad for saying that.
Don't
feel bad.
It was nice.
That was brutal.
It was a good one.
Listen, there are just...
I apologize.
No, there you go.
To absolutely nobody.
Okay, that's a version of what we do.
Grant Francis fan club is funny. He goes, they won't insure Jamie. Yes, he died and all.
Yeah.
Well, you know why?
It's actually true.
We got rid of the damn clear at camp.
Thank you.
They can't get it out of their own zone. Yeah.
That's the reason.
It's needed.
Yeah.
You know what? I know Synergy Hockey does this thing. He does great. They do great things over there.
I think no complaints about that.
I think we should venture out and find our own lane and rival Synergy.
Please do. You know what they say, Carey? Competition is the number one thing that fuels a company.
There you go.
And when the competition is you guys.
Honestly, we might get people showing up just to
clear it.
See it like it's a circus.
By the way, Anthony, if I may, Synergy Hockey has Black Friday camp coming up right after Thanksgiving, and holiday camps too. Everything's available right now. Get on there, register. SynergyHockeySkills.com.
There you go.
If you want to.
Carey and I and Marsh and the Clear It Camp also have Black Friday event.
It's Anthony's favorite weekend.
Yeah, exactly.
Now you got to get it done before.
Well, we got to put the camp together, and maybe next year.
Yeah, start planning. That's how you do it, Anthony. You plan a year out.
You spread the word.
Yeah, get them all hyped up before.
Absolutely.
We need a project manager.
Well, that's you, Marsh. We need you're hired.
VP of Special Events.
Of Special Projects.
There you go.
When Gersh becomes available, we'll get him because he'll have the resume for that.
Maybe even get you Fredbird at the camp. Maybe he is Fredbird now.
Maybe he is. Yeah.
This is a special event.
Why is Fredbird so depressed tonight, Daddy?
Well, why is Fredbird making those gestures to John Mozeliak?
Question number 2.
This one comes from the Waterboy. Baseball's Hall of Fame ballot is out. Is Ichiro Suzuki a first-round unanimous selection? If not unanimous, why not? What argument could someone make?
Yeah, there is none. He's going in right away. This guy's one of the best players of all time.
In ever, Bob.
Yeah. There's no doubt in my mind he's a first ballot. If he's not, then these people are fools.
If not, then what are we doing here?
Right.
Very good question.
I'm serious.
So,
that guy was a phenomenon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyone else on the list that is first ballot, in your opinion?
No.
Okay.
Thanks for asking. No.
Question number 3.
You ready for this one, Carey?
Sure.
From the 980. Marsh, is it me, or is Carey Davis contradicting himself?
Ooh.
It seems when the Steelers win, it's win by any means necessary. It doesn't mean how you win as long as you win. But when it's the Chiefs saying he doesn't believe in them and that they're not a Super Bowl team because they are barely beating teams.
Wow.
What I said was I don't think that they are sustainable in winning games in that manner. I don't think that they were a Super Bowl team. And I don't feel like it. And maybe it is a contradiction. And I like the Steelers.
And you don't care.
And I don't give a damn. Sorry. But you feel that way.
There it is. Yes. There it is. Okay. You know what? I appreciate you being honest about that. I've had that thought as well, and I've thought about mentioning it, but I also believe that you didn't care.
No, I don't. Nah.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh finds a way to win.
A walking contradiction.
And the Patriots,
hypocritical?
I'm going to say the Patrick Mahomes. The Chiefs have found ways to win. They just didn't win on Sunday.
No, they did not. All right, we'll continue our Sports Six Pack next on 101 ESPN. We were talking about getting a boxing workout earlier. Jamie had mentioned that he does that every day. I like to do that at the Missouri Athletic Club. They got different, they have different clubs going on within the club there. It's not just going out and working out in the gym, and they've got a whole, entertainment room there where you're constantly, you could subscribe to different classes that are set up by trainers. It's a great spot. And then afterwards, get the shower and maybe a nice steam, and then head right to one of their fantastic eating spots where you could get a brunch in, or you can order off the menu. Man, the food is unbelievable at both locations of the Missouri Athletic Club. I love going downtown for special events and going to Cardinals games, stuff during the summer. But when it comes to the West Clubhouse, just make it a part of my daily routine. It's one of the things I really enjoy about my MAC. It's Missouri Athletic Club.
man.
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six Pack is brought to you by Paramount Men's Medical Center. Suffering from ED or PE? Your first treatment is free at ParamountMen'sMedical.com.
Time for our second Sports Six-Pack here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Question 3, please.
Question number 4.
4, please. I can't believe we made it through 3.
That's a good point.
So I was having a little text discussion with Grant Francis fan club. Jamie,
Yeah.
when it comes to Zach Bolduc, and we were talking about him earlier, do you think that sending him down to the AHL, and we talked about maybe not wanting to do that, but do you think you could do that to spark some offense? If they did that, would that make sense?
I mean, it could. Yeah. I mean, it depends on what you're trying to do, what the mission is ultimately. But for now, I stand by the belief that I think he's getting more out of being with the NHL team on a daily basis. There's certain players that wouldn't. There'd be certain players that would be kind of pouting and unhappy and maybe unwilling to work or ask questions. But that's not Zach Bolduc. I'm watching this kid every day in practice, and he's working on things that they're telling him to. He's eager to watch video with the coaching staff. He listens to things that some of the veterans tell him. Like, he's absorbing more at the NHL level than I think he could be taught at the American League level. Could it spark some scoring? Yeah, maybe, but then when he gets back to the NHL, he's right back into that mode of like, maybe he's behind because he hasn't been around as much. And so then the confidence level might be there from a standpoint of, oh, he scored some goals in the American Hockey League, but then if he doesn't score right away at the NHL level, now what? That's my thoughts.
Question number 5.
From the 314, of the 4 major sports, which in your opinion has the best overall athletes?
Oh, hockey.
Football.
Hockey.
Not football.
Hang on, Carey. A hockey player can run, can catch a football, throw a football, make a tackle. Can a football player skate?
But that doesn't necessarily make you the most athletic because you can skate.
Well,
It's a skill set.
It
But
certainly helps.
For hockey, yeah.
It certainly helps.
It helps for hockey.
Tom Brady himself, who just started ice skating a couple weeks ago, said that the NHL's got the best
I'll
athletes.
tell you what, give me 2 weeks.
I'll give you 2 months. I'll give you 2 years.
Give me 2 weeks. Hey, tape these ankles up and get
All
out
right,
there.
Jalen Ramsey, let's slow down.
Give me 2 weeks.
No, I am a little biased on this one here, but hear me out. The sport of hockey operates at a torrid pace. It is. This is the fastest team sport that there is.
Yes.
And so your time and space, all the physicality is equal-ish to football, depending on the size of the player. But then the impact of a hockey player running into somebody else at 25 miles an hour could be great. We can split hairs here all day long on the physicality. Doesn't matter. I'm not even going there because I think that's a wash to me. Football plays are anaerobic. You get 6-7 seconds of a high impact play, and then you get a breather, which is fine. I get it. It's a very physical sport. Hockey, you can be out there for 30, 60, 90 seconds sometimes on a shift, and then constant movement. And you're having to, not like in football, you catch a football with your hands, right? You throw the football with your hands, and you run with your shoes on. In hockey, you're having to do everything while on skates, and we don't use our hands to stick handle the puck. We have to use another object in order to control the puck. So hand-eye coordination there
is extremely hard.
Of stick handling and making passes and shooting the puck and doing these things. So I just think that the athleticism is just a slight bit higher.
I'd like to see a hockey player do a 360 dunk.
Well, you're taking into consideration...
That's athleticism.
I was going to say, I've seen some hockey players that they're not good at basketball.
Yeah. I've also seen some that are really good. And you're talking about 360 dunk. Okay, then I want to see an NFL guy shoot a one-timer with a 20-mile-an-hour pass coming to him. It's just not going to happen.
They got Canadians in
But what
the
I'm
NFL.
saying is, just because a guy can't jump.
But that's a level of athleticism.
It is, but
hand-eye
it doesn't mean
coordination.
you can't do it.
Hand-eye coordination is not necessarily athleticism.
If you lower the rim to 9 feet, I bet you guys can do it.
Good day.
Yeah.
I think it's probably hockey. because of the ice skating.
I think ice skating is a specific skill that doesn't make you more athletic.
But you're doing everything else while on the ice skates.
So if we put off the ice, a hockey player, a football player, and a basketball player, and we put them through skill competitions, athletic drills.
Yeah.
You think a hockey player would be more athletic than a basketball or a football player?
But wait, what are the...
I just said anything off the ice. We're not on the ice.
What are the skills?
Whatever.
Then, yeah, I do. Hockey players train their off-ice program.
I trained with hockey players when I was training.
What year was that?
2007, 8,
okay.
6.
I'm just telling you, hockey players train alongside all of the athletes you're talking about.
I know. I trained with them.
And the ones that are there match up. The ladder drills and all this other stuff that they do, they match up.
I have seen Wayne Gretzky just dust a couple guys in a race before.
That is a funny video.
Yeah.
He did. He dusted a whole bunch of other athletes in a sprint. It was like a 50-yard sprint or something.
And, like, you could be in the best shape possible, like, for your body or whatever, but there is a difference between being in shape and being in hockey shape. It's just completely different.
I think you can make that same claim for soccer, too.
Oh, that's another...
How much they run.
Yes.
Absolutely.
How much energy they exert. Yeah.
And the talent that they have with their feet when they control the ball. Some of those guys are just out of this world.
Yep. We played soccer in the yard this weekend, and I played goalie for most of it, right? We went out in the fields for just maybe about 20 seconds. I was done. Like, I'll just go right back to the net. I'll be right here, guys. I'll be at that wall for you.
Guys, what do you think of this? Text from the 314 says 100% baseball players, they can play any sport. Really? Can they?
Nah, I don't think so.
I think they're joking.
I don't know.
Some can't even play their own sport.
That's a good point.
Oh,
that was hard.
Well, yes. There you go. Well.
You were jumping off the top rope today.
Doing the Logan Paul frog splash.
Somebody says, guys, Carey is willing to train for hockey. You're missing an opportunity for content.
That is good. Yeah.
I've been saying it for a couple of years now. You know?
Carey,
are we putting you in net, or what are we doing?
No, he wants to skate.
I want to skate.
He wants to skate.
Okay.
I got to get taped. I got to get my ankles taped. I don't want
Why? You don't tape your ankles?
No, I'm definitely taping my ankles. You don't tape your ankles?
No.
Really?
Barely tie my skates.
Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy talk.
You got to have mobility, man.
It's crazy talk, Jamie.
If you strap the tape around the ankles, now you're basically in ski boots, which means you're at a higher risk for injury.
Oh, that's bad.
Because if you hit a rut,
you know what? I'm going to go out there. I'm going to go out there with the little helper.
The little walker?
The little walker. Get me started. Learn how to skate. Learn how to stay. I got to put a helmet on. Learn how to stay up.
Get your mouth guard, too.
Yeah, because I don't want my teeth coming out, being knocked out. And then I'm gonna figure it out.
All right.
Whoever
couple
said
weeks.
this. Whoever said
I'm
this
gonna
with the
start
tax
stick handling. Then
I'll put you through some
rip
things.
it one time.
We'll get you there.
Hey, what do you think's harder to do? High point a football, dunk a basketball, or stop on rollerblades?
Oh, stopping on rollerblades. I've told you that story
It's
before.
so hard. Like if you've never done it before.
Dude, my brother was part owner of a roller rink in Atlanta, Georgia, with a couple of others IHL hockey teammates. And I went down there at the end of my season. I finished playing junior hockey. I was rated to go in the first round in the NHL, like big hockey guy, you know. So I'm out there. It's beautiful sunshine. So I figured, hey, tarps off, take off the shirt, gonna go play some pickup hockey with a bunch of men's league roller hockey guys. I order these beautiful skates from Bauer. They send them to me. They're like, oh, here you go. They're like top of the line. I get out there. I'm skating around. Everything's normal. Firing the biscuit around. No big deal. So we get into the game. And as the game's going on, like I'm controlling the puck, and then like something happens where the puck comes loose. And I go to like stop and get the puck. It ain't the same as hockey. I have these great pair of shades on, and I went to stop, and the base went whoop, like flew over, smacked my like face off the ground. The sunglasses blew apart on me, and I looked like they were like, "Oh, this guy, he shouldn't be playing with us." This guy's
in the NHL.
No, they didn't know that about me. Oh, they didn't. I never said a word to anybody. I was just out there. But then on my ego, right, I was like, "No freaking way!" So I get back there, kind of dust myself off. I look at the next guy coming. I go, listen, I don't care. when you get the puck, you pass it to me. Right away.
You sound like Holly.
Anyways, he's like, oh, okay. So I think, my God, this guy just about killed himself. What's next, you know? So he passes the puck to me, and I wired a shot, like as hard as I could. I scored a goal, but then I just left. I was like, because I knew, like, I can't play, like, for real with these guys.
You just needed to be Ovi. Just find your spot.
It was very humbling. Roller hockey is a very specific skill, for sure.
Yeah.
By the way, Ovi, he's going to break the record this year.
Yes, he is.
He might.
Yeah, I think he's 29 goals away.
Wow.
He got a hat trick last night.
Unreal. Yeah, they dusted Vegas. In Vegas. And Vegas has been almost untouchable there. All right, it's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Jamie's Week 11 game notes next. Stewie is on the line right now, and our guy, Stewie Jamie, he's always cooking up different deals for people, especially around the holidays. So, Stewie, what do you got for a special gift for a one-on-one ESPN listener?
Anthony, this is a great story. This lady calls me. She's married to this guy for 25 years, and she says, I want to buy for Christmas my husband a brand new car. He hasn't had a brand new car. He won't buy a new car. He always buys used cars, but he's such a great husband. I want to be able to refinance my house, take out some cash. I'm afraid about the payments, though. You know, I don't want to go too high. So we sat down. He didn't know anything about it. And we started to realize that, you know, she's got some credit card debts, some other debts that are pretty high. If they're hurting her cash flow, I said, why don't we do this? Consolidate the debt. I'm going to give you $35,000 to buy your husband the car that he wants. It's not that expensive. You know, she knows exactly what he wants. We did it. We consolidated the debt. We gave him a 30-year fixed, lower rate than what they have now. And guess what, Anthony? You know how much that payment went up?
Nothing.
Take a guess. How about it went down $42?
What? Oh, come on.
So she got the $35,000, paid off all her debt. Her cash flow's improved by $42. She couldn't believe it. Closed this morning. Happy camper. That husband is going to have a heck of a surprise come Thanksgiving, Christmas time.
Yeah, you will. That's awesome. And that's all thanks to our guy, Stewie. You need to give him a call or text him if you've got any kind of financial situation that you're looking at, whether it's purchasing a home or consolidating debt, refinancing. Stewie is the man. Give him a call on his personal cell phone number. That number is 314-324-4440.
Again, 314-324-4440.
Call him, text him. Look, it's dark outside right now. It doesn't matter. Stewie's still working, and he'll work for you. He always does the best job for our one-on-one ESPN listeners. But if you can't remember that number, Anthony, what can you do?
You can always Google the Bagel Loan. Thanks, Stewie.
Have a good night, guys.
NMLS number 226715.
207, your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. We got Carey's notes in and Marshy's notes in. Now it's time for Jamie Rivers' NFL Week 11 game notes, the three things that he wants to highlight from a Sunday that was in the National Football League.
All right, well, the first one, I had to take this one. It's Carey Davis's Pittsburgh Steelers. One thing I learned is that defense is absolutely legit. We talked about it earlier today that the defense has single-handedly won them several games this year.
And
the field goal kicker.
There we go.
Yeah, and the field goal kicker.
It's a team game.
It is, for sure.
All three phases
Just the
matter.
offense takes a few of those games off, but that's fine. The defense is there, and so is the kicker. They're ready to go. Mike Tomlin, he's pretty much he's a god when it comes to coaching. You know, I always respected Mike Tomlin and thought that he was a great coach, but watching what he's done in the last couple of years, he hasn't had a quarterback since Ben Roethlisberger, and he continues to put teams that are competitive out there. I'm not going to say like contenders, but competitive teams. And, you know, in the offseason, everybody kind of giggled-ish at Justin Fields and Russell Wilson. Like,
I definitely did.
You are taking spare parts from around the league, and you're just giving it a shot.
Right.
Seems to be working out. You know, they're winning games without touchdowns, which is rare. But still, it seems to be working out just fine because they're winning. And it doesn't matter how you're doing it, the team is winning. And I don't hear anybody complaining, at least not publicly, about how bad the quarterbacks are and things like that. They're happy that they're winning. And certainly 9-2 in your division will make you a lot happier on a weekly basis. But my biggest question about the Steelers, and Carey, I'm going to exclude you from this one because I already know the tainted answer we're going to get.
My apologies.
Is do we really think the Steelers are a contender? Or are they just playing really good right now? Because even when I squint, I have a hard time seeing the Steelers beating the Bills, the Chiefs, even the Ravens in the playoffs. Like, if you can't score touchdowns, like, that's problematic. Yeah, I know, kick a field goal. You better ice that leg, kicker.
5 of them.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
Am I way off here? And I understand, like, well, defense can win. Look at the Ravens, what they did, and things like that. I get it. I get it. But are we comparing the Steelers' defense right now to what the Ravens had with those guys?
No. I think that, and if Carey's being honest, he'll agree. I think that the Steelers, the two things that do travel are defense and a running game. I don't know, can they consistently run the ball to beat the Bills, to beat the Chiefs, to beat the Ravens again? Although they seem to have the Ravens number, so maybe we should just exclude them. But can they do that? Can they do that for multiple weeks in the postseason? I lean no. But they proved yesterday they are clearly the third best team in the AFC. And they deserve to be in that conversation. But I do not think they win 2 to 3 playoff games to get in the Super Bowl. No.
Carey, your thoughts?
Oh, yeah. Pittsburgh still is going to the Super Bowl.
And I think you'd have to play for and win a Super Bowl with the Steelers to think otherwise.
Yes.
Let me add that.
Yeah.
All right. My second one is the Denver Broncos. I'm going to go right back to a head coach again. Sean Payton is proving to everyone that he is a great coach. I think there were some doubters when he first got there. Everything blew up in his face, the Russell Wilson thing. Like, it was a bit of a disaster. Let's just be honest. Well, he had a season and an off season to get to work, and he's turned this team around. We talked about it earlier. The defense is just, ungodly with their quarterback pressure.
Yeah.
And the development of Bo Nix. You can't look past that. I mean, he's playing really well right now. And I don't know if anybody really saw that happening. We saw that the Broncos drafted Bo Nix, and everybody's kind of mid on it. Yeah, whatever. He played 10 years of college football, whatever. I'm exaggerating, but
no, it's close.
It's pretty close. But now, when you watch this team and you watch the defense, and you watch Bo Nix, like, what's the ceiling for them right now? I'm not talking Super Bowl at all, but is there even a chance that they tickle the bubble of playoffs?
Oh, I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
I think because of that defense, it reminds me a little bit of the Brock Purdy situation. Now, the two guys are different. Obviously, Brock Purdy was in the 7th round. He was Mr. Irrelevant. And then you had Bo Nix being taken in the mid-1st round. Bo Nix doesn't have the weapons that, and no offense to like Cortland Sutton or anybody like that, but he doesn't have the weapons that Brock Purdy does. But he's throwing in rhythm, on time. Sean Payton has simplified the game plans for him. And you see guys that are just wide open. And he has been accurate. He hasn't turned the ball over that much. I think he's been as good as anyone could have expected, including Sean Payton. He's been as good as what anybody could have expected coming into the year. So the Broncos, to me, are a fringe wildcard team for sure.
All right. My last one's the 49ers. I think almost all of us, including me, who loves the Lions, had the 49ers going back to the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. Now, that was prior to all the injuries they've had. I mean, injuries are absolutely killing this team right now. And I understand they're getting a couple pieces back, but this is not the 49ers team that I anticipated at all, and a lot of it is due to the injuries. And I just a couple of questions. Like, is Kyle Shanahan good enough as a head coach to even drag this team into a playoff spot? I know they're 5-5, and Arizona leads the division at 6-4. So yes, there's a chance to even win the division, but they're trending in the wrong direction, in my opinion.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. When Geno Smith crossed the line yesterday, when he crossed the end zone, and the 49ers lost, I said to myself, I'm like, this is one of those teams or those people that I just got to give up on. You know? It's not happening. I think that this team has been too injury-riddled. They've played a lot of extra games of late. The Super Bowl hangover for the losing team is real. Mm-hmm. And as good as this team has been, it does feel like the window is starting to come down. It's not shut. It's not fully closed. But I think the window's coming down.
Yeah, it just doesn't feel like.
It doesn't feel.
No.
I keep waiting. I even said it last week. I'm like, they're coming. Here we go. They're coming. I don't care that they barely beat Tampa without, Tampa having any right. Don't care. No big deal. It's a good win. They just made their field goal. They'll be fine. I have ignored the telltale signs since week one. I can no longer believe in the 49ers. I'm sorry, Tanisha. I knew Tanisha was going to come in from the snake pit. Tanisha, you know the last week I've been saying it. I've been the last person on this show to give up on the Niners.
Well, no, I've
got to give up on them.
I even picked them to beat the Seahawks this week. And,
of course you did.
And now I got paid back by them losing. So, I don't know. I just think that, for me, it's one of the most surprising things of the season in the NFL is just finding the 49ers in the bottom of their division.
I agree. Yeah.
I don't think they make the playoffs.
I don't think so either.
I think they are too. It's almost like with the Cardinals, what we saw with them this year, how there were so many teams in front of them in the wild card. And you're like, oh, they got a chance in the wild card. They're only 5 games back. Yeah, behind 6 teams, though.
Right.
True.
It's difficult to surpass all of those teams. And I think that's kind of the situation here. That loss to the Seahawks was a terrible one.
Yeah.
They've dealt with injuries all season long. And, and the Cardinals been playing good football. The Arizona Cardinals been playing really good football. They are, surprise, surprise, the best team in that division at this moment.
It is over.
Yeah. Those are my game notes for this week.
Good stuff, Jamie. All right, it's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Frick James, it's okay, T. He's just projecting the Falcons' anger. Frick, you know for a fact.
That's not wrong.
That I long gave up on the Falcons.
You did.
You faked it.
I didn't fake it.
Yeah,
they're going to win the division.
They are not, and you keep saying that. They're not.
Anthony,
the Saints are only 2 games back. Bucks are only 2 games back.
In the division.
Don't care.
It matters.
They're going to lose to the Commanders. They're going to lose. They got a whole bunch of games coming up that they're going to lose. A whole bunch of them.
No. The Panthers, no.
Maybe. They lost to the Panthers last year.
No.
The Panthers, you see that Panthers team? They're a juggernaut of late. They've won 2 straight.
Okay.
They beat the Saints. We can't beat the Saints. We did once, but anyways, let's look at their schedule here. Oh, Chargers, L. At Vikings, L. At Raiders.
What?
Yeah. Giants, at Commanders, L. They got 3 more losses coming.
They beat the Panthers. It's over. They win the division.
No.
Yes.
Saints and Bucks.
There are too many. The Saints have to win out.
The Saints will.
Oh, gosh.
Did you see what they did to the Browns yesterday?
Just Anthony, you're right.
That's
Jamie?
Right.
It goes
Jamie.
way faster this way.
Jamie.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're
Let's get
welcome.
into Scott Perunovich. We'll talk about him and how well he's been playing of late. That's next on 101 ESPN.
Well said.
Jamie, I feel as though that Scott Perunovich, and I know that I'm the hockey god, but that's only really in the 4 o'clock fight, which is not a thing anymore. Only the thing in the Gauntlet. I caught that right away.
I was gonna. I'm like,
Did I mention that my 3-year-old Lincoln is sick? I haven't slept in 3 days.
Oh no.
Yeah, in the Gauntlet is what I meant.
Yeah, Gauntlet.
I mean, how many years has it been?
When was the last time it was the 4 o'clock fight?
It was
5,
before
6,
Anthony
7 years
joined
ago.
this show.
2017?
Yeah, no, it's 2020. It's COVID.
Okay.
That's the 4 years.
Okay.
A short 4 years.
Feels a lot quicker.
Take two. Now, guys, I know I'm the self-proclaimed hockey god in the Gauntlet, but Jamie, you got a better eye for this stuff. This hockey stuff. Carey, you too.
I appreciate it.
Scott Perunovich looks like he's played better. I don't know if it's maybe just the production is there, but he looks better given the opportunities this year.
Yeah, look, I still think that there's room for Scott Perunovich to grow, especially from an offensive standpoint. He's a Hobey Baker winner, put up good numbers in college hockey, put up great numbers in the American Hockey League, and you know he comes to the Blues as a projected power play specialist. That hasn't really transpired yet. But in fairness to Scott Perunovich, the Blues power play has struggled too, and it's not just him. It's the units of 5 players that have been slightly disconnected, to say the least, at times.
Yeah.
So that impacts every guy who's on the power play as far as creating power play points or offense. But, you know, the one knock on Scott Perunovich was his size. And it's obvious. You can see that physically he's not the same size as some of the other players, certainly not the bigger guys. And, you know, it takes a while sometimes for smaller players to figure out how to defend bigger guys, and because you can't match them strength for strength or like physically, because they're bigger, and so you got to get a little cagey, a little smarter, and figure out how to get to the puck and keep them on the outside.
And with that, you need the experience.
You need the experience. You need the ice time for that. And so over the course of the weekend, you know, when Corey Schoeneman came in, Corey Schoeneman played alongside Justin Falk, so he was kind of given the Matthew Kessel treatment of you're going to come in and play top 4 defense, which that can be sometimes irritating to players that are currently on the roster. But Drew Bannister likes to keep the lefty-righty combinations together, so elevating Matthew Kessel to the left side or right side alongside Justin Falk with 2 right shots probably wasn't an option for them. So the other option would have been Scott Perunovich. And I just don't know if they had the confidence at that point still. Well, Perunovich had himself a good game in Boston, and then he finds himself elevated for the game in Raleigh against the Hurricanes, and you're seeing more confidence in his game. He's making some better plays. He's playing a little more solid defensively. He's getting up the ice. He had a great assist on Radek Faksa's goal. He shot the puck. Imagine that,
Nice.
Anthony. Imagine that.
Go figure.
So maybe the young man's starting to figure a few things out. It's good to see because he's a great kid. He works extremely hard. He's been blocking some shots too, like doing some of the dirty work. And I've said that before. If you're not able to perform, you know, what you were supposed to bring to the table, then step outside the box a little bit and provide something that's a little out of character-ish. And it's not that blocking shots is out of character for Scott Perunovich, but it's blue-collar work, which usually doesn't fall on the shoulders of the Hobey Baker winner type thing.
Right.
And so he's getting dirty out there. He's getting involved. To me, he's showing signs of improvement, which is, 1, what the individual wants, but 2, what the team needs right now. You're depleted on the back end. You need guys to step up.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, obviously, you've said it well. I guess the next question is, though, when everybody is healthy, does he fit with where the Blues are heading with their blue liners? And it's probably no.
Yeah, to be determined for me, because you know he's earning a spot right now. If he can start to consistently put some offensive numbers up there, you know, not a lot of guys are doing it. So maybe he finds himself in a spot to stick around. I guess if you're looking at it on the surface right away, when you look at Broberg, Leddy, Suter, and some of the other guys that they have in the lineup, once everybody's healthy, it's going to be a dogfight for ice time for those bottom guys, you know, the Kessels, the P.O. Joseph, Perunovich. It's going to be a dogfight for ice time for those guys. But, you know, they always say injuries happen. Oh, boy, have they ever.
Yeah.
And with injury comes opportunity. And right now, I think that Scott Perunovich is showing that he's capable of improving and capable of playing at least at a 12 to 15-minute clip in the NHL.
Yeah.
When you talk about the size of Perunovich, Nathan Walker, he might be a little bit heavier, but they're about the same size, right?
About the same height.
Same height. But
built completely different.
Yeah, that's the difference. Because Nathan Walker doesn't seem to
different.
be bothered with the physicality part of it.
No.
And so I guess my question was, is it somewhat of just a mindset of going to do it at times, even though that might not be your makeup, but you have to do that part? Like, it's part of the job description, even though you are smaller.
Like, Scott Perunovich will never be able to do what Nathan Walker does.
Gotcha.
Just like Nathan Walker will never be able to walk the blue line and fake guys out and make some of those passes that Scott Perunovich makes. In fairness to both players, they bring a unique skill set to the team.
Right.
But Nathan Walker's built like a fullback.
Okay.
Big legs, big shoulders. Like, he's a sturdy frame. And so when he gets out there and he plays physical, he can rock guys. He gets low, bends his knees, and explodes into hits.
Right.
Scott Perunovich is not built that way. He's got a smaller frame. And quite honestly, unless you've been doing the hitting part for a long time in your life, like, it's not an easy thing to do. A lot of guys, you watch them, they hit wrong. They just skate into the guy with their body. I used to love those guys. I used to blow those guys up left and right because I learned to, because I was a smaller guy growing up. Like, height, I was fine, but I didn't weigh a lot, so you had to bend your knees and really get into the hit. And I actually watched an NFL Films video way back when, my brother and I, it was called NFL's Greatest Hitters. And it was like one of those narrated things.
Yeah.
Watching these guys. And
these are awesome.
Some of the smaller guys were talking about, oh, no, you got to bend your knees and then explode that oomph at the last second. So I started hitting kids at, like, bantam level, like playing and I was destroying them. I'm like, okay, this works.
Yeah.
Then when I got to be a little bit bigger, put on some size, 'cause you get your man strength and all that, all of a sudden you've been hitting like a smaller player for so long, and now you got the size to go with it. You start making bigger impacts.
Right.
Sure.
Well, Nathan Walker's kind of like that. He knows how to make the impact. He knows how to explode into the hit and play physical, whereas Scott Perunovich, for him, it's not even smart to play that way. It's better off for Scott Perunovich to just get in front of the arms, break the arms of the player, meaning like you skate through where they're handling the puck, take the puck, turn around, and go play offense.
Yeah. That's Jamie Rivers, Carey Davis, Anthony Stalter, Andrew Marsh. Speaking of me, I got my Week 11 NFL game notes next in the Fast Lane.
If you're thinking about selling your home anywhere here in the St. Louis area, now is definitely not the time to take a chance and just hope for the best outcome. No, when you do that, you want to sell your house and you want some certainty that you're going to get the most money guaranteed in writing. And that's why I recommend that you call Gloria Lou with your home sold guaranteed realty. Let's be honest, Gloria's name says it all. Your price is Gloria's promise. Gloria already has the buyers, too, and your home may already be sold. Just check it out. She's got ready buyers in her exclusive database looking to buy a home in your price range and your neighborhood. That's how Gloria is able to help you sell your home at your agreed-upon price, or Gloria will buy it. Guarantees all of that up front and in handwriting as well. So please contact Gloria Lou. Tell her Jamie Rivers sent you in. Her number is 314-325-6888. Again, that number is 314-325-6888. If you can't remember that number, visit her at gloriahasthebuyers.com. And remember that Gloria and the seller must agree upon the sales price and possession date.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Blues are off tonight, but they'll take on the Minnesota Wild tomorrow after losing 4-1 to the Hurricanes yesterday. Pre-game for that one tomorrow starts at 6. Puck drop is at 7. Tonight, though, you can listen to Monday Night Football as the Cowboys take on the Texans. Pre-game starts at 6:30. If you missed anything from today's show, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free 101 ESPN mobile app. That's all brought to you by Schaefer Door Company. Just head to the podcast page and you'll find all of our interviews and full shows there. And it's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. We have Anthony's NFL Week 11 game notes. That's coming your way next right here in the Fast Lane. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
We've gone through Carey, Jamie's, and Andrew Marsh's NFL Week 11 game notes. Time for mine. When you marry the quarterback to the scheme, or the quarterback to the system, I should say, great things tend to happen. You go back to Bill Walsh and Joe Montana. When you go back to Tom Brady and any living offensive coordinator that got to put on the Patriots logo, good there. Any young quarterback right now that is having success, Bo Nix, who you talked about earlier, Jamie.
Yep.
Sean Payton has done a great job there. Cliff Kingsbury, the OC, with Jaden Daniels and the Commanders. When you marry those two things together, big things happen. Even if you want to go with Brock Purdy, but helped lead the 49ers to a Super Bowl last year with Kyle Shanahan. It's obvious that when you find the right quarterback for the system and you put enough around them, even if you're a Denver team that was not good a year ago, you can have a quick turnaround. Same thing with Jaden Daniels. So that's my first observation after watching Bo Nix absolutely torch that minor league Falcons team. It's really stood out that Sean Payton's doing some good stuff.
Yeah, Anthony. They're not
team.
A minor league team. They had a bad day. They had a couple bad days.
Bad weeks.
Yeah, in a row. It's not great. But they are still your division leading the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah, because the wide receivers for every team in the division basically are dead. So there's that. All right, so that was my first takeaway from yesterday. I know that Jaden Daniels has had, the last couple of weeks haven't been great, but look, he's been sensational. The other thing I kind of observe is what has actually changed in the AFC. And maybe this is where we can finally get into the Ravens, because we've been talking about the Steelers. But the Ravens, even adding Derrick Henry, they're still suffering from the same crap each year. They're highly penalized. That was a problem in years past. When it comes to lighting up virtually every team in the league, Lamar Jackson, check. But then you get in a situation where, let's kind of call that a playoff-like game yesterday with the division lead on the line. Lamar doesn't necessarily have his best games. How about drops? Zay Flowers hit him in a bad spot right in the chest. You saw drops be an issue earlier in the year or throughout the year for the Ravens. So that hasn't changed, right? The Chiefs. Oh, they're struggling to throw downfield. They've got they'll win the Super Bowl. The Bills look good in the regular season against the Chiefs. They'll be bounced in the playoffs by the Chiefs. What has really changed thus far in the AFC, save for Carey's Steelers?
Not a lot.
No, not a lot. The Chargers are playing better. The Texans have taken a step back. The Bengals
still bangling
going to get somebody hurt. The team that's quietly, and I said this last week, I would keep an eye on the Dolphins. Like, I just would. I know they are 4-6 right now. They are right on the outside. I think they're the 8th or 9th seed right now.
Yeah.
Top 7 get in. I would watch them because They dealt with 3 or 4 weeks without Tua being there. That obviously hurt them. A week or so for him to get back. They took a loss to the Bills. That's one of the best teams in the AFC. I would keep an eye on the Miami Dolphins down the stretch. See if they can win 4 of their last 7 games.
Right.
5 of their last 7 games and put them in the playoffs.
It'll be tight. It'll be tight because they got the Patriots, Jets,
2 wins.
Browns, and Jets.
3 wins. 4 wins.
Now they also have the Packers, the Texans, and the 49ers.
How many wins do you think you need to make the playoffs in the AFC?
9.
9?
Yeah. I think 10 for sure gets you in, but 9.
I think the last wild card team in the AFC will have 9 wins. That'd be my prediction. All right, my last note: 0, and I mean 0 excuses for the Lions to not represent the NFC in the Super Bowl. I know they were playing a Jaguars team that gave up weeks ago, but did you see what they did to that schmuck team?
Eviscerated them.
7 straight touchdowns on 7 possessions.
What do the kids say? Screw around and find out, you know?
Yeah. Mess around and find out.
I think it starts with an F.
Fast lane and find out.
Yeah.
Is
They
what the
call it
kids say.
the FAFO.
Yeah, that's exactly what they did.
Yes.
Yeah.
Traffo.
Look, 49ers, I hate to say it because I've been... Okay, Carey, they don't stink.
They
just
not good.
They're not there this year. They're shell right now of their former selves.
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't think the 49ers get in. The Cardinals, cute story. Maybe they win the NFC West. Does anybody really think Kyler and company can go into Ford Field and beat them? No. NFC South, absolute total joke. The division winning Buccaneers.
Oh, God.
Maybe they test the Lions again. They did beat them earlier this year, but we're not believing that. The Lions are already running roughshod over their current division mates. And then the Eagles are a really talented team led by a moron. So
that's hard.
Sorry. Did you feel that way? They're a really talented team led by a guy who should not be the head coach. He's more of a special projects coordinator guy, you know? Coordinator of special projects.
You know what I'm going to get you?
I don't see the Eagles going into Detroit. The Lions have 0 excuse. 0 to not win the NFC this year.
You know what I'm going to get you?
What's that?
When the Falcons win the division, NFC South divisional hat.
I'll accept that hat.
Yeah, I'm going to get you one.
It's the only thing to win this year.
Maybe, but they will win that.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I called it. Just remember, I called it 2 weeks ago.
I don't think so either.
I'm not calling it now. I called it 2 weeks ago, Marsh.
They can't.
Write it down.
The Buccaneers have to win out.
They will.
I'll tell you why they won't. Because Kirk's been saying all year, no cap.
I think
and nobody knows what that means.
That's a different no cap.
That's a different no cap?
Yeah. Like no lies.
No lie.
No, I'm not telling you a lie. No cap.
Yeah, no, he's right. He's not lying about the fact that he's not suited to lead this team.
Amazing how the times change week after week.
You know what? I got on their bandwagon 1 week.
You got on there at least
and
twice.
Things have not been the same.
At least you were on the bandwagon when he threw for 6,000 yards against the Buccaneers.
The 2 times he's beaten the Buccaneers. The 2 times he's won he's beaten the Buccaneers.
1,000 yards
I've been on
against
board.
the Buccaneers.
He has.
And 8 touchdowns.
And 1 good drive against Philly. That's it. Bench him.
All it takes is 1.
Bring in Penix. Let's go. They bench Kirky football for Penix, then I'll get on board. All right?
Gosh.
Penix is probably not ready either. All right, we'll move on. We got Bet the Board. We've got 3 stars of the day. We got criticisms and compliments next. Call my friends at the Happy Roof Company right now, or if you don't have time to do it right now, do it tomorrow, because if you're dealing with any sort of leak, you want to make sure that you get on top of that. And the Happy Roof Company, they should be your first call. They'll have somebody to look at your issue within 24 hours of when you dial them at 314-665-3001. Again, 314-665-3001. With the rain that we're getting right now throughout November, if you're dealing with any sort of leak or you hear like dripping or something like that, and you have no idea what's going on, but you know that it could be an issue, Happy Roof Company. They got to be your first call. They do residential and commercial roofing. They only use superior high-end products. A lot of contractors, in fact, they're out there trying to install the cheapest shingles possible. But when it comes to the Happy Roof, they offer Class 3 impact-resistant shingles on all of their estimates, and they've got free estimates with competitive pricing. So if you do need a new roof, you want to upgrade the look of your home, give them a call. They got financing available. They've got great relationships with realtors and insurance companies, an A-plus rating with the BBB, and up-to-date product knowledge. In fact, they've got over 50 years combined experience in roofing, siding, and gutters. They are the Happy Roof Company. Visit them online. They're the Happy Roof, happyroof.com. Or again, give them a call, 314-665-3001. Tell them Stalter sent you, the Happy Roof Company. ESPN.com or on your Schaefer Door Company 101 ESPN app. It's all brought to you by Dow Tire Auto Centers. All right, time to bet the board. Marshy, you have the updated standings for us.
Yes, so Anthony, you have 6 points. Jamie has 4 points. Carey has 5 points, and I have 9 points.
I have 9 points.
Wow.
Oh.
That was uncalled for, Marshy.
That was.
Seemed harsh.
I don't care.
Necessary.
You know what? I don't care. I don't care about anything right now.
Okay.
I'm tired.
All right.
I threw some shade at Jamie earlier today. It was more so at the team, but, I'll take it.
Okay.
Fine. Go ahead, Andrew.
Give me the Dallas Cowboys team total over 14.5 at -142.
You don't believe that.
No, team total.
Oh, they're going to score more than 14 and a half
They need to score
points?
15. They need to score 15 points or
Whoa,
more.
whoa. They're not the Steelers.
You better believe that.
Wow. Marsh, I thought you were going to beat me to the punch. I got the Cowboys under 16.5 for their team total.
Wow. We got a little fading going on here.
Yeah.
Ooh, boy.
I was not. I already had that number pulled up. I'm like, okay, there's no way they score 17 tonight.
Makes me feel good.
They'll probably score exactly 17.
All right, Carey, let's go.
Oh, give me the Golden State Warriors -5.
All right. Give me Cole Caulfield to record more than 2.5 shots on goal at -135.
Excellent pick.
Thank you. Whatever much.
Yeah.
Ready for criticisms and compliments?
Sure.
From the 314, Anthony is absolutely on one right now.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Why?
How much time you got?
Yeah, it's a multitude of reasons.
We got a decent amount of time left.
When was that sent, Marsh?
Good point.
Not too long ago.
Yeah, Falcons.
About 5:42.
No, the Falcons are going to be great, man. They'll make it to the second round of the playoffs.
Who the hell are they beating in the first round? It's not going to be the Vikings. It's not going to be the Packers. It's not going to be the Seahawks.
The Washington Commanders.
No chance.
Yeah.
No chance.
They're a young team.
Jaden Daniels.
Not playoff
250
ready.
through the air, 150 on
They
the
got to
ground.
go into Atlanta where they're swagging and surfing.
No.
Good luck.
No chance.
Get a text from Thanks Dad. Hey guys, first time tuning in all day. Why didn't you talk about the Blues?
Well, we did.
We did.
A lot. Yep. If you missed it, just for your podcast reference here, we talked to them. We talked about them at 2. We talked about them at 3. We talked about them at 3:30 and 5:15.
How many times is that? 4?
Yes.
And during the Sports Six Pack.
And during the Sports Six Pack.
5 times?
Yeah. So, and I mean, you hey, listen, maybe you're in and out. No big deal. We get it. We understand.
It was Thanks Dad, though, so you know that was
there's probably some stank
sarcasm.
to that. Yeah, some fun stank to it.
Fun stank.
Yeah, fun stank. As opposed to dirty stank.
Yeah.
Right, Jamie?
Different. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Very different.
The
You don't
Water
care. You were
Boy.
there.
Don't know.
What's that, Carey?
Nothing.
Okay.
We got a couple texts from the Water Boy. Actually, let's go back to Thanks Dad. Thanks Dad says, haha, just love it when people do that.
Yes. We do too.
That is fun.
Well, you paid it off. Well done.
Yes. Yep. Nice job.
So the Water Boy has a few texts. Let's start off with this one. Is it past Grandpa Rivers' bedtime?
No, not past my bedtime. Just past my brain time. Done with this. Go home. Just sit down. Do nothing.
Over it?
Yeah, I'm over it. I'm over it. This day. I don't want the day to be over.
Are you going to go home?
To be over.
Are you going to go to the right house?
Oh.
I did go to the wrong house.
Did you go? I was going to ask you that. Have you gone to the wrong house?
So funny. I'm leaving the gym the other day. Before the road trip, Ashley and I are, we're kind of in a hurry. It was actually the day we're traveling to
Buffalo.
Thank you, Anthony. 2 points. And come ripping out on Highway K, as you know. And I go right to 364 to go to where I live. So I'm in that lane at the red light, and I realize,
I don't live there anymore.
I'm in the wrong lane. So I put it in reverse. I look behind me. I put it in reverse. Like 100 yards in reverse on Highway K. My girlfriend's like, "What are you doing?" Yeah. It's fine.
We're going home.
We did it. Yeah, we got through it.
You made it.
But and This morning, I almost did the same thing. Left the grocery store, went to make a right turn. No! Go straight.
Straight ahead.
Yeah. We're getting there.
You'll figure it out. We believe in you.
Thank you, Anthony.
So the other text from the water boy was podcast ? Gridiron guys?
Yeah, we got one cooking.
Gridiron guys, it's going about as good as the Jets this year.
It's been cooking for a minute.
The Winnipeg Jets are rolling.
Yeah, they lost in the Grey Cup yesterday.
Oh, no.
The Winnipeg Blue Bombers. I was watching that.
No, I was talking about the Winnipeg Jets.
Oh, I thought you were talking about football.
No, Winnipeg Jets are
Argonauts
rolling.
won. There's
did.
actually a fan that ran on the field.
Saw that.
Oh.
Yeah.
It was a lady.
What'd she look like, Carey?
She was streaking.
She was missing,
really?
missing a shirt.
Yeah, she was.
God, that's all.
Interesting.
No, she's missing all her clothes.
Oh.
That's
I'm not
fine.
mistaken.
She must have been cold.
Probably.
It's indoor.
It was indoors.
Must have been hot then. That's why, yep.
That's why you take your shirt off.
Sure.
When you're hot.
Less wind resistance, too.
Yeah.
Just trying to hit maximum speed.
Yeah. I got a criticism here from the 617. Why haven't you mentioned the U.S. men's national soccer game today at City Park?
Well, Anthony said in
just
the
did.
pre-show that he was going to talk about that today, but we must we just didn't get to it.
I got to add a lot
It's on there
of
for
Blues
tomorrow.
talk.
Yeah, isn't it Energizer Park now?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Yeah,
so let's
so-
get that right. And I think we just did. Nice job, guys.
Nice.
Proud of you
Make
guys.
sure you tune into that.
Three stars of the day. Third star of the day goes out to the Denver Broncos.
Yeah, Denver.
Yeah,
Yes.
beat down.
Yep.
Atlanta Falcons.
Second star of the day goes to Carey's arm. It kept making its way up in the air.
Yep. Nice job.
Keep it loose.
In here, up in here.
Yeah. Get stuck.
And our first star of the day goes out to older people in sports.
Carey, sorry to hear that, man. For you.
You got to give it up for the older people in sports.
No, you just know.
They keep playing.
Well, we do.
We carry
I enjoy it.
Yeah.
People do a
strong
great job.
dislike for it. It's disturbing.
It's too bad.
Just didn't want my guy Mike Tyson to get harmed, man.
He wasn't going to get
Harmed. He could have done a lot of damage.
Get harmed. You see the size of those gloves? Might as well been a pillow fight.
I would have probably preferred that.
That might have been better,
That
actually.
might have been
those
better.
two?
Yeah.
Yeah, it might have been more entertaining than what we
I
got.
think of other people.
Well, sure. I'm just saying there wasn't a high bar.
What?
It wasn't a high bar.
Or a hard bar.
All right, I'm with Jamie. Let's end this thing. For Andrew Marsh, for Carey Davis, for Jamie Rivers, I'm Anthony Stalter. See ya.